Na guys, upper bracket finals ata, hindi ko alam kung ano una. Kung lower o ano. Upper bracket finals. Kundra.
Nisha Crystales Papi Zayak Resolution.
Nagtamba panalo nito mga Woo! Ay, hindi pala. Pinapakita pala lahat. Alam ko liquid ata una. Kaya ba yung game ko? Pagawin lang natin.
Choose wisely and crush those responsible.
Yan, liquid. Top 4 pala, top 4.
Matumba Man.
Ah.
Insania Mike Bakshi Zai. Choose wisely and crush those responsible.
In Aster. Bobo ka.
My will is strong.
Oo.
Team Aster. Ori.
Oh.
Pito. Boboka. Mone. XXX.
Ano, lagabog tayo sa liquid mamaya.
My will is strong.
Ito si Gabe, no?
I said push their racks, not pause for snacks.
Yung Gabe na to.
No. Hi, it's Gabe in your lane. It's Gabe Newell. Well, we're tremendously excited that we're all getting the Dota 2 community together again. It's been another crazy year, and during that year, there's just been a lot of incredible Dota played, and some not so incredible Dota being played. But now we're putting on TI 11. I think it's going to be fantastic. And whether you're there in person at the arena or watching from the comfort of your home, I'm so excited to say, welcome to the International.
Game, oh.
Welcome to the International Grand Finals.
Dalawang LCQ po.
Morning and welcome to the International. It is finals weekend. We got ourselves a sold out,
Lambag yung paeng.
absolutely packed Singapore indoor stadium. So welcome to that, everybody watching inside the stadium and stand out, because I know there are a lot of you. There's also a lot of players, 20 players to be exact. You see them standing there and they are ready to battle it out. Only one team can lift that Aegis, and only one team will be properly remembered at the end of this weekend. Only one World Championship, a lot of pressure. There have already been 16 teams falling down, dropping down like flies here in the lava. And those final 4 teams, the pressure that has been mounting up over the last 5 days, who will crumble under that pressure? Who will thrive under that pressure? We're about to find out, because we are ready to kick off today with some awesome top-tier Dota and top-tier Dota accompanied by top-tier panelists. That's right, I'm Shiva, I'm your host for today, and we got ourselves Jenkins, Effie, and Lacoste. Couldn't wish myself a better panel. Lacoste, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good, feeling excited. You know, every single time we have the last couple of days of TI, you know, the nerves are going to kick in. You can feel the nerves also of the players. Like, you know that they want to get on the stage and get this going. Yeah, they want to take that Aegis.
But I'm so excited, though. Everything just feels so real the second you see Gabe on your screen saying, welcome to the International. The butterflies kick in, the excitement kicks in, and I honestly can't wait to see the conclusion of what has been an amazing main stage.
It's true. This is the man that forged the Aegis himself, the man that gifted immortality to Roshan. And finally, after all of this time, we get to see who will become the immortal one, such as Gabe Newell himself.
Or which 5 players will become the immortal one. And coaches, of course, cannot forget those. We've had quite the long road to get to this weekend, and I would not blame you if you missed some of the matches, but here's a little bit of a recap what's happened in terms of brackets. Today, we'll have the matches that are listed with the red there. We're going to kick things off with Liquid versus Aster, and later today we'll have the upper bracket finals with Secret versus Thunder Esports. And then tomorrow it's lower bracket finals and grand finals time, but that means that this is our finals weekend bracket, and every series that we're going to watch from here on out, Lacoste, is going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Acer against Liquid. I don't think you can ask for better matchups. Like, we did see a lot of those matchups, especially in the European region throughout the DPC, so that's going to be a super interesting one. And also, we have, you know, Team Acer against Liquid. They only met once this year, and that was at this TI in the group stage.
Yes, and that was pretty one-sided for Aster. But since then, Liquid has had a little bit of evolving happening, and I think a lot of people will remember where we left off, because our final series that we had last weekend was Liquid versus Aster, and I think that's a series that's going to be in our minds for probably forever. It's definitely going to be in the minds of Team Liquid as we hear them talk about it.
I mean, I think the Thunder series, as a group, that's, you know, our best moment so far. I think, I mean, we got away with one.
This throne is going down here and now. Thunder, are you fucking kidding me? Game 1 against Liquid. Unfucking-believable. My God, this team, how do they win from that position? They were 2 minutes off buybacks for everybody in that engagement. What a demoralizing way to lose, honestly. They are going to have to mentally reset from that game again.
After game 1, I really felt like death. Like, I don't know, why am I doing this? You know, why am I doing this to my team? Why am I not strong-willed enough? I didn't take this 0% to lose route that game, and I was really angry at myself. And then I went to bathroom, I started resetting my mind. I was like, here we are again, you know, like against VG Gaming, but this time it's Thunder Awaken. We still gotta win the 2 games, like no matter what we do, go into the next game and, you know, like really smash them in that game, and like, yeah, let's go, you know. And for the 3rd game, it was truly a roller coaster.
We're gonna see another mega creep situation. How blessed are we today?
It's such a scary position for Thunder, who are the ones making the shot here. They're making the call.
I know this was like one of our most stressful games, for sure. Like, I think everyone was stressed out of their mind.
I kept dying in a very silly way in fights, because I never had a guy next to me to infest. I was like, I mean, I'm dying every fight. My gold is not going up. I'm probably like the bottom net worth of every core. Like, we're not winning this game. Like,
They do not have the buybacks, but they do have an Aegis. They have this overwhelming advantage for the next team fight.
Matumba bought out. He bought out for AC. He has short buyback. 400 gold.
Oh, there's the hook.
The ball.
The first snap. They're trying to deal with this ward. And ends up getting a freebie. Now it's a 4 versus 5, 4 versus 6 with the Aegis.
Everything had to go right. Even like the second to last fight in our base when they pushed, like I die without buyback, yeah, and a guy dies, and I get assist gold to get my buyback back, and that's the only reason we're actually still in the pushing the base.
And that is going to be enough to be able to finish off a top of but he doesn't have the buyback. Foxy, he's going in. Zai, the second lifer, get back to the pound, the havoc, and
Yung laban na yan, no? Makakalo na kayo.
down the bloodstone, gets Zai, and kill, rampage on the mid stage, but because Matumba got the buyback, he's going to die once. Nobody else. It's just Dark Mago. It's just because a 2-on-2. Insania now joining in with the Dark Mago's going to try and deal with him where he can. The freezing field going out with the Suns. The bashes doing so much damage with Matumba with the bashes, making it 12. One fall, the other to follow. No buybacks. Team Liquid, they hold again.
It never felt like we were fully out of it, even though maybe the numbers and statistics all said we should have been. And then, you know, at the end of the game, it comes down to literally 1 HP. I think if Mickey dies and Matu's like Infest doesn't save him, then probably game over.
This is a hard fight. You have to pick your jump well. You have to hit these
now. Sacred goes for it. Immediately the blindfold. They're just going to focus all in onto Mickey, and it looks like Mickey.
Walang yung 1 HP. Walang niya talaga.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
I think it's Arteezy who said this at, I think it was Arlington Major. He said, God giveth and God taketh. And yesterday, God giveth.
During the 7 years, that has not happened to me. Even winning TI7 when the last round died, it didn't feel the same. It's just the build-up wasn't there for it. But this time, it really, like hitting top 4 like this, damn, that was the best thing ever happened to me.
Oh, if we only get like one game that lives up to that hype, I'm gonna be happy, and I think the players will be happy with that too. That was insane to watch. Also, it hasn't happened to Matu yet, even though he won TI. I think it's very cool that there's been 3 Mega Creep comebacks ever at TI. Zai has been in every single one of them. That's pretty impressive. And we got to talk a little bit about the Dota as well, because of course we've had a lot of Dota played. We had a lot of heroes picked. There's been 114 heroes picked so far, and that means that there's a couple that are not picked.
Yeah, 8 specifically have not been picked. 219 games. And Purge and I are here to tell you why you're probably not going to see the other 8. Purge, let's get started, my friends. Okay. It's been a lot of Dota, but there's a couple of rejects here. Tell me about Clinks.
Clinks, vulnerable early game. His team fight's weaker than a lot of other carries. He's just not as good ultra late as a lot of other choices.
He's garbage. Get out of here. Wind Ranger.
Farm's mediocre. Not very many people like her. She needs BKB to team fight. She's really bad versus Leshrac. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that sum up to garbage. Boom. Bounty Hunter.
No stuns, no team fight. Like a third as good as a Marcy on your team. Why would you pick Bounty Hunter?
Why would you pick him? Garbage. Get out of here. Get out of here. DK.
Dragonite, let's see, he's survivable, but like he's so much worse than all the other good offlaners. Enigma, Primal Beast, Marcy, Brood, Beast, Matt, should I keep going?
No, you shouldn't. All I need to hear is garbage. Boom. Tree Protector.
Teams are farming a lot right now, so like tower push defense timings aren't as important, and he's not even that good at it anymore. The heal comes out slower.
Oh, yeah, I'm not on board. He's garbage. Boom. Coddle.
Weak at laning, not good at ganking, tries way too hard to be cool. Lesh doesn't even need mana anymore. He's got Bloodstone as his friend, so why do you need to Coddle?
Get him out of here. He's garbage. Boom. Techies.
Decent lane, good damage, but he doesn't have any stuns. His ulti's very counterable. There's just better heroes than Techies.
There's a lot of them. I'm really going to enjoy this one because he's garbage. He's garbage. He's...
Oh, wait. I got it.
Get him, Purge. Get him, Purge. get him, Purge.
You need, it's for your own good. You'll get buffed after. Oh, wait, there's one hero left.
Oh, there is. Why are you even here? Nobody likes you. I might think that you're one of the worst things to ever happen to Dota. There is nothing that you are good at.
Meepo.
Also, Meepo was uncontested.
That was brutal.
Neil, it made me really sad, and then I got a chuckle, and I feel a little guilty about it, but here we are. We are also here with the first series coming your way very soon. Of course, Liquid is going to face Aster. It's their only elimination series of today, and I want to make sure that people watching that are tuning in maybe only for finals weekend, just to recap, what type of Dota do these two teams play? You want to start off with Liquid, Jenkins?
Yeah, Liquid, I mean, it's not like a team you can call like, you know, this is like an aggressive team. They play aggressive or defensive, whatever is needed. Like all around, they play good Dota. But one of the most important things about this team that I think makes them unique is the fact that they don't really play roles. They play heroes. And this is something that's been true for like every iteration of Liquid, that's at least the recent ones. You know, where Boxy was playing offlane, and then he can swap to 4 position. Now, of course, he's playing the 4 position. They'll play Matu mid on Sniper, Lone Druid. They'll swap the supports lanes as well. So yeah, this team, the hardest part about them to beat is the fact that they're just hero experts and they can play any lane.
All right, and if we look towards their opponents today, Effie, we got Team Aster.
Yeah, so Team Aster for me are incredibly fun to watch because this brings me back a little bit to the ESL Malaysia LAN that recently happened, and Aster proved to a lot of the fans watching there that individual skill is important, but it's not the most important thing in Dota. Aster are a very team fight-oriented team. They're always drafting in a way where they can come back from a gold deficit just by virtue of outfighting the enemy team. They play a really tight-knit formation on the map always, and the way that they distribute farm around the map is so intentional. Everything that they do, you feel they've discussed, they've calculated it, and they will always play for their specific timings, right? It doesn't matter if they don't have the items or the gold at certain times. They will hold their areas very well. They will not give up Roshans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Team Acer, they've always been in the shadow of LGD because LGD was always performing so well, and they showed that, you know, third place at the Arlington Major and also second at DSL 1 Malaysia. They came here to play.
They came here to play indeed, and guess what? We came here to watch some Dota 2. And we're going to kick things off for Game 1 with the draft. Let's go.
Liquid versus Team Aster. Game 1.
Greetings! Welcome to TI-11. Sunsfan here with Cinderin. We got Stormer and Toby from Entity to help us out with this draft, because God knows, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Hyped to be at a TI, and I don't know, TI vibes are really good. Right?
Yes, can we hear the crowd? You guys hear? What's going on? Oh, awesome. So Aster versus Team Liquid. Lower bracket, Team Liquid comes in with a ton of momentum, but now there's been a bunch of days off. I don't know how that would affect them. What do you guys think?
Well, I got some background info. I know that Liquid was hella bored in some of those things.
Yeah.
Having a day off, but yeah, gonna be exciting. They had like insane momentum from the lower bracket, obviously. Had to come back from this 0-2 now against Aster. It's gonna be wild.
I think a lot of the time when you have this long of a break, it's about not getting into your own head, right? Because you run this mock draft like 100 times and you start overthinking, okay, what are the enemy team going to do against us? Start playing this rock, paper, scissors with yourself. So there's different ways of approaching a 5-day break like this. This is kind of, you know, unprecedented territory for us. Like, are the teams going to bring something new? Are they going to play what they did so far? And so far, nothing too surprising here, I guess you could say. Maybe aside from a first phase Sven ban. Did you expect that?
Well, we just spent 5 days preparing to give the Marcy first pick. So let's see what the plan is.
We highly respected Boxy Marcy all the time. I think that Marcy is still the top contested hero at this TI, I think, in terms of picks and bans, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Marcy is probably the most spooky Marcy that is out there right now. I think we literally ban it every single time we played against them.
So what do you think makes him spooky on this hero? Like, what is it he does better than other Marcies?
I don't know. He just gets to like 20 minutes, gets a BKB, and one-shots your carry.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I like when my 4 does that.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, in the upper bracket when these two faced, Aster had Lesh every game, both games, and they 2-0'd. Very, very powerful and popular hero these days.
Yeah, Lesh is crazy. We see the next first ban.
Wow.
To enable the Lesh.
So, I mean, very standard though. Like the Maiden, I think Maiden, Leshrac is just pop up at this TI. Maiden is an insanely strong hero, and Lesh is probably the most contested mid lane hero right now. One of the most. 8 Broodmother is pretty interesting. What do you think about it, Toby?
I'm the biggest Broodmother fan. I would have picked it. I'm not sure what Sai's gonna do with it.
So I think we've seen in multiple series now Crystal Maiden as a direct response to Marcy. Obviously a good lane counter because you have a slow and a root as a support. Is there anything extra about this that makes Crystal Maiden a good response to Marcy? Is it just that the other 5s can't really handle her, or is it really that simple?
I think the CM was more preparation for the 8-pick that was coming out, especially the Brood. And I've seen Sven and Lich against Marcy to give armor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Maiden's just, in any case, probably a pick that you just would love to have in the draft from the beginning on. Just a strong laner, and I don't know, just rounds out a lot of holes already before the draft. Second stage bans are pretty interesting too. Mars and Naga against Aster. I mean, just high contested heroes as well. I think Naga is a Brood counter as well, right? The main carries love to lane against the Broodmother, so that's why they get it out. Aster, meanwhile, banning the Lone Druid. I mean, there's Matumba Man. There's one guy on Liquid. He's probably the best Lone Druid out there playing this hero, so no surprise with banning it. And the 1 HP hero is getting banned out as well, the Pangolier.
Do you hit some crazy timing with Lone Druid Brood when you get the Lone Shard? Is that what they're considering, or is it just like in general a worrying timing that you're facing us is just like extra strong, or just a targeted player ban?
I think what's scary about Liquid is that if they pick this Lone, they can flex it on 2 lanes. They might play carry on mid, because Mick is also very comfortable playing the carry role. So banning Lone Druid against that, like, whoa, super crazy. Banning Lone Druid against Liquid is just a safe shot in many cases, if you're not sure what to ban.
I was going to ask, what is left in the pool that's good against Brood? Because we've seen a couple of Brood games where they pick it relatively early and it's been punished. Spirit Breaker is obviously very good. There's Kunkka. Anything else come to mind for you guys?
They still need a carry hero that can lane against Brood.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you see this Broodmother thing is, nowadays I think Brood is almost always on the off lane. You don't really see it mid. So, the thing is, like, obviously, there's only a limited amount of heroes you can pick into this, right? Like, you cannot pick any carry. So, I guess it's assumed that they're gonna pick it on 18.
Knowing Mane, he plays both Monkey King and Gyro, who I think both fare pretty well against Brood, right? They have a way of dealing with the Spiderlings once you get the Flak Cannon up when Brood gets level 6. Is there anything else you're looking, like, you're assuming this is a Marcy Brood lane, right? And you have the Crystal Maiden covering you. I guess most carries can kind of float this lane until Brood is 6 and then it gets super scary, or am I underestimating Crystal Maiden's impact on this lane right now? Are there some carries that just can't play this lane at all?
I can see a patch coming for either team in this phase.
Hell yeah.
Lich first.
Wow. Okay, that's surprising. I didn't see that one coming. Double Spellcaster. I mean, they're just heading into the Mikalina. I think Mika loves this matchup against the Leshrac. It's one of the favorite ones that they actually like win like 60-40 or a bit more even. And yeah, Sniper. After going for the 18 carry, it's a Sniper.
Whoa.
One of the only heroes that outranges Lina. If she's played as a core in mid, which is
Techies, technically.
Yeah, that is the other one, which nobody plays. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
I can see mid Sniper and Lesh carry. Lesh carry very good against Brood.
Do they flex it ever? Does Monet play Leshrac though?
I don't think so. I think Astra's read here is that, okay, this Brood we can handle in the beginning with our Maiden, and we obviously have the Spirit Breaker rotation possibilities, so we can get away with putting Sniper safe lane, and once Brood gets level 6, things might get dicey and they have to swap their lanes around, because Sniper cannot play this lane after Brood hits 6. It's one of the... It's actually interesting to see Sniper as a response here, because usually Brood was a massive counterpick to Sniper. I want to say half a year to a year ago when it was played mid more. Sometimes the last pick Brew would just ruin his game. So
yeah, like it's a double range against double melee offlane, right? Like main Sniper against Marcy Brood. How do you think that's gonna be like?
I think Brood can play this lane. I think it's a pretty good Brood lane. I hope it's less scary, to be honest.
Is it
better?
Yeah.
Is it possible that Aster start at tri-lane for like a minute or two? That's what we've seen some teams do to try to shut down Brood in the beginning. You see Liquid banned out some of XXS's best laning heroes against Brood to prevent that they set a 1v1 and just play an aggro tri-lane, right? They banned out the Pango as well as the Mars, which XXS has been playing phenomenally this tournament. Are you kind of worried that a potential starting tri-lane from Aster is going to make Brood's game too difficult? Or are you happy as Brood that, okay, I'm getting shut down a little bit, but Matu's going to get a free game?
No, Brood definitely needs a good start. So if they can give the XXS a lane where he can play 1v2, it's possible, but it's hard into Lich, I guess.
Yeah, Lich is already a spooky laner.
So regardless of the position for Lesh, Team Aster looking for off lane, I assume, and Liquid in position 1.
Yeah, except if XXS plays Subara. I'm not sure if he can play Spirit Breaker.
Okay,
but
that is not out of the question, but I do think it's Bobo Cup playing that.
I think I see on Liquid right now what I would love them to like adjust in the draft a bit is that they have no clear way of initiating at a certain point in the game. They have Marcy, Lina, and let's say post 20 minutes or something, it's not the easiest to engage fights. And Lina and Lich, they want heroes to go in for them. So there's still a Matu pick coming up. I would love to see Liquid pick up a hero that like goes in first. I'm not sure what would fit that, because he also has to worry about the last pick XXS. Still got some time left though.
You also would imagine that it would be nice to have the carry use Frost Shield, right? You're picking this Lich early against essentially nothing that Frost Shield counters in terms of defense, right? So at the time when they picked Lich, they saw CM Lesh Spirit Breaker who have like basically 0 physical damage. So now that you've picked it in this manner, you would imagine Liquid have some sort of an aggressive plan. Like you said, carry goes in first, pop Frost Shield on him for the control. Or you put it on Marcy, but that doesn't really feel like that's maybe the most valuable. Bloodseeker is going to be the choice.
That's interesting. I don't mind it. I'm not sure how Dota's against Sniper. What do you think, Toby? I think it's really good against the Lesh and Barrow.
Yeah, it's good against Lesh.
Yeah.
I think they have sniper problems.
Yeah, there are some sniper problems though, yeah, that's true. But I like the idea, like it goes in for the rest of the team. Rupture is a very old school counter. Bloodseeker is not so popular in this TI, but yeah, it basically fits the gap of like frontlining and sort of lockdown. It's not a stun, but it does like 50% of it.
So if let's say you're entertaining the idea of running standard lanes with 2-1-2, what kind of an offlaner do you pick with Spirit Breaker against Lich BS? It's a pretty strong lane, right?
Just some melee hero.
Not a range? Not like
oh, it's too hard.
Something.
I think it's too hard.
So XXS would have probably liked to play any of the like 4 last bands of Liquid. Yeah. So, all right, they have made up their minds. So it's going to be another melee hero, the Underlord.
That's interesting.
What do you make of this?
I'm not sure. So, I mean, both drafts are very interesting. Like, it's actually tough to do. The mid matchup is going to go pretty well for Liquid. They got the Lina against Leshrac matchup. He is playing against Subara, which has always been a bit annoying for her to deal with because he gets on top of you. I'm not sure what the bottom lane is going to go like. This entire Bloodseeker.
Pretty good for Bloodseeker, but he shouldn't feed on Underlord. Yeah. It's free Brood game in my book. So.
Free Brood game?
Yes.
Okay.
You're both taking Liquid?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking. Like, I think Liquid has like a pretty good shot, but I think Aster has OP heroes as well. I'm taking Aster.
Okay, split panel then. Let's go to Sir Action Slacks, who's looking like a mob boss today. Very, very nice. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Game 1! Woo! Singapore is ready, my friend, and it seems like you guys are as well. Disgusting draft, if I may. A Brood Mother, a Bloodseeker. You really are treating this like an elimination game, huh?
Yeah, shout out to Koikva for the Brood. This one's for you, buddy. Never left our team.
Attaboy. So, are you concerned at all? I want to know a little bit about how you guys prep for this. You had a big, long break. I think most of it was on your big old brain. What did you guys do during that time off to get ready for a team like Aster?
We did nothing. We sat in our rooms, chilled a lot, watched a ton of Naruto, which I'm slowly trying to get into potentially. And yeah, me and Matu just drafted. We kind of just enjoyed the moment, you know? We had a lot of time to think about it, and what an incredible thing to be up here. We just kind of appreciated the moment.
All right, well, all those weebs in my game with the anime profile picture, apparently that's all you need to do to get good at Dota. Let's see if we get a good match, my friend, and we'll throw it to our casters.
Thank you, Sir Action Slacks. A very informative interview as always. Lower bracket semifinals of TI-11, Aster versus Team Liquid, game number 1. Cinder, I didn't even get your thoughts on the draft here.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tumunog na ba?
I
Tumunog
feel
na?
like it's interesting that you have this much time to prepare and you don't really know what to expect. And I would say, as far as surprises go, I feel like Astra are bringing something new here. They do get this D-Ward, by the way, worth mentioning. It's a little bit of a head start for them in that mid lane. They're bringing some stuff here that we haven't seen them play that much. They're playing the Underlord on XXS, the Spirit Breaker on Boboka. I don't think they played these heroes much, if at all, in the playoffs. Whereas Liquid are more sticking to their guns of what we've seen. So this is something I'm very curious to see throughout this day in the next series as well, like how the teams prepare and have different approaches. I'm not going to say one is better than the other because I genuinely don't know, but it seems like the
that's the thing about having this many days off is the theory crafting probably gets to the point where it's not even helpful anymore. So we're going to see the rebound here from Boxy, but Siamese Cat's going to be okay. And looks like the bounties have been split evenly to start us off here for today.
Yeah, and it will be the expected lanes here. So bottom lane will be Brood together with Marcy against Maiden Sniper, mid is Lesh against Lina, and finally top lane Underlord, Spirit Breaker facing off against Lich Bloodseeker. So as we talked about on the panel, probably a slight edge in the mid lane to Mickey here with the Lina matchup against Lesh. We've seen this played a decent amount this tournament. Lesh has been incredibly popular, and Lina has been one of the best responses that we've set our eyes on. Speaking of which, setting eyes on Boboka is playing very aggressively onto Insania, skilling charge level 1 for some damage.
As Mickey and Ori facing off in the mid lane, Lina versus Leshrak. You can see Zai getting harassed by quite a bit as we have a pause. And I don't know if those are oohs, ahs, or boos, or all of the above, Cinderin, but the first pause today.
And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes ah.
What a pause! So I imagine we have a small tech issue. We have not been given a reason just yet for why this pauses, but this gives us a little bit more time. Alright, so disconnect from Insania makes it seem
well, I've heard some players have to change their chat wheel to be not GG, but of course that might not relate to these teams at all, considering they're all good manner players.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine a player like Insania having GG in his chat, but you never know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised once you might have your opinion on players and then you meet them in real life.
Never meet your heroes.
Totally different beast, you know?
Never meet your heroes, and that's why I regret ever meeting Sir Action Slacks.
He was your hero?
That's true, actually. That wasn't accurate at all. I just wanted to throw that out there regardless.
The conclusion is never meet Slacks.
Yes. Yeah. I think that was what I was trying to get across. Appreciate that, sir. That's why you're here. You're analyzing my thoughts.
Telling you what you wanted to say.
That's right. Very good. Tell me, how does Zai play Brood this game?
Yeah, so it sounded like, so Toby is quite the Brood specialist, right? And it sounded like he thinks this should be a free lane for Brood. I don't play the hero much. I feel like, from my perspective, Maiden Sniper probably does okay, or at least for a few levels. Once Brood gets level 6, you're screwed down here as Maiden Sniper. You have to evacuate and solve it, but that's where Astra have a hero like Underlord who could go there. They could park the Lesh there if they really have to defend the tower. But for starters, I would imagine this double range lane does fine against Brood. Zai will just try to stay alive, get some CS where he can. You're seeing Boxy currently planning on pulling the wave down there to try to get a little bit of a different lane positioning so that Brood can get closer to his tower. And then,
well, we're about to unpause. I want to get the crowd's reaction here. Let's do a live poll since we have some time here. Can I hear who is rooting for Aster today? Aster. Okay, that was kind of underwhelming. I'm not
that was
gonna lie.
lukewarm.
And what about Team Liquid? Oh my.
Okay, seryoso na,
We have some bias here in the crowd. First it was OG, but they're not here anymore. So transition to the next EU team. As we're underway again. Insania pushing back Boboka. Mid lane still relatively even on, but 2 denies already from Mickey, but relatively a wash at the moment. If you had told me 6 months ago that Lich and CM would be played to this extent, I would not have believed you.
Yeah, it's a really interesting development. I think especially Lich, because Crystal Maiden has kind of had her time on and off recently, but Lich has been quite a while since we've seen given this priority. A little bit of poke back and forth.
Yeah, Zai. This is kind of a weird setup right now. One kind of on the other side of his tower. But the rebound is there on top of the sniper for Monet. On the right click away, no dispose yet because Boxy's still only level 1, but in the end, a lot of harassment damage traded each way.
Yeah, if you play Dota casually, you'd be like, why are 2 heroes behind the tier 1 tower minute 1? And this is simply what happens when the position 4 in the enemy team repulls and repositions the wave behind there. You have to go and contest this experience in gold. You can't just let the Liquid side get that for free when you have this double ranged lane. You are willing to take those trades, and ultimately what ends up happening is that Zai has a grand total of 2 CS to the 10 of Sniper with a good head start here on Monet. Getting it behind there.
The rebound. Dispose is available this time. Shrapnel comes out to do some residual damage. Monet taking the brunt of it, though. Do they have enough to get first blood in this game? Boxy continuing on, and there it is. Boxy with the
Very
first blood.
good.
As Sniper goes bye-bye. Great start for Liquid in this lane, despite, like you said, the CS for Zai not being too respectable, but this should open it up at least a little bit for him.
Yeah, so he's not the one getting the first blood, but he gets the space in the lane now, right? He gets to, I believe, deny 2 range creeps here potentially. Nah, I think the second one will be secured here. It will. By Pichu. But yeah, Zai will be very happy with that. Even if you don't get that first blood, just getting a little bit of time. He's now going to get his level 3. Currently holding the skill point. Curious what he's going to choose, because it feels like all of the skills here actually have some decent merit with how this lane's playing out. He's eyeing up his options, not choosing just yet.
Rebound
We'll go for the Silken Bola now.
Okay, very nice.
More aggressive approach, I guess you could say. It's kind of hybrid, right? You can also use it to slow and run away. So,
yeah, but like you said, once he hits 6, should be scary times for Aster. I mean, at that point, what is Monet doing? Like, where can you go as a sniper?
Rebound. Boom.
See another rebound this time onto Siamese Cat for the Crystal Maiden. Looks like that's going to be another death in this lane for Aster.
3, 2,
Boxy and Zai kind of punishing, which we've seen so many times with the Marcies in this tournament.
Back muna.
Top lane, though, getting chased. Looks like he'll live as Matu trading some right clicks with XXS.
yeah, obviously the Bloodseeker benefiting massively as well whenever they play aggressively bottom, gets that thirst bonus up top and trying to turn that into even more advantage here for Liquid. Yeah, you've got to be really wary of your positioning, and it's easier said than done, right? Your Crystal Maiden, you kind of want to at least put some sort of pressure and do some damage, but at this point when Marcy and Brood are both level 3, I think you have to backline behind the sniper. If he gets jumped on, you use both your spells defensively and you try to reposition and stabilize. At the same time, if you have to sacrifice somebody, it's better that the Maiden dies than the sniper. And then ultimately when Brood hits 6, I think the sniper is just going to sit maybe mid, or you open up top and you play up there. Okay, so I take some serious damage bottom. Not enough to die, but he doesn't have any regen except 1 level in Spin Web, so it'll take quite a while before he's online to fight with Boxy again.
And Baboka able to TP out. And I would expect the kills to start ramping up a little bit more now, just because we have such aggressive heroes overall, especially with the Spirit Breaker on the side of Aster. As we haven't really seen a gank mid. Does that surprise you at all? Because I feel like that's a Spirit Breaker special, as I say that he's charging right now.
There you go. I don't think it's surprising we haven't had it yet, but I think this is a pretty good time to do it. Mickey's running out of mana. There's no power runes, but we'll not be able to find the angle here. Bobakov is charging from base. Oh,
nice.
Zai trying to turn this around.
Patay na, lipat mo. Nice.
Zai's going to be able to get the insatiable hunger off
Patay
as
na
well.
naman.
Patay
Patay na naman yan.
Dealing a lot of damage to Zai in the meantime.
Nice, last ball.
Boxy looking for
Nice.
another kill for himself onto Monet. That is the second just for him. I'm not even sure if Zai was in range for XP at that point.
I'm sure if Boxy got all of it, they don't really mind. Again, it's a matter of just giving Brute the space here to recover the CS in the lane. Zai currently sitting on 1-0 and 2 in terms of KDA, so...
Oh, the charge coming from the other side from Baboka.
Oh, na-rebound. Lipat mo. Lipat mo ng pwesto.
Mickey taking tons of damage, does get off a good LSA, but it does not
lang,
save him
dalawa
in the
kayong
end.
patay.
Boxy getting run down now by Oris.
Ayos lang.
Double kill for him. And Zai, now that they know he's left to his own devices, they can kind of harass him out of lane to a degree.
Oh my god, look how many creeps are mid too. They get the double kill. This is 2 full waves and a siege creep just hitting this tower. So first of all, you get a lot of tower damage in here, but the death stings that much more for the Lina losing.
Zai getting low, and Baboka's charge will finish the job as
Relax,
Aster
relax.
all over the map as we kind of expected with the draft. Able to take full advantage of this space cow.
Yeah, this is the luxury you have in this position with having this Underlord top. It's hard for Matu to put meaningful pressure onto XXS, who's running a Bracer and Ring of Hell. He's just buying a full self-sustained build. He's going to finish his Vanguard now as well, coming out on the Courier. So if you want to kill this Underlord as Liquid, you need to bring 3+ heroes. I don't think they have any other way.
Okay, no comms at all. Interesting strategy at TI-11. Monet at the bottom. They do get that tier 1 tower, like you said, but very even game despite that. And top lane is the one we haven't really talked about too much, but Matu...
Maybe they were all watching Knowledge.
What's that?
Maybe they were all watching Knowledge.
That's true. I mean, I talked to a couple Liquid members as well during the break, and I mean, they couldn't find scrim, right? None of these teams probably could find many scrims, so... Kind of a weird situation, and you kind of overanalyze probably. I think taking some days off was probably pretty important for a lot of these teams just to reset, because especially for Liquid, who had all that momentum, that I don't know, I would have been super drained.
The overall consensus that I gathered was that I think most teams, if not all of them, took 1 to 2 days off and then started getting back into it. You know, you take a little bit of a break, make sure you don't overwork yourself, because it is very, very mentally taxing to prepare for these games, and you've obviously played a very long tournament already to get to this point, so getting that little bit of a breather, definitely helpful. Aster with I don't know if we should call this a recovery. Obviously the bottom lane was not going too hot, but the rest of the map looking very good, and with that rotation bot where they killed Zai, they managed to take the tier 1 tower. They almost got the tier 1 tower mid as well, minute 8, which is very good news for Aster. Zai.
He wants to go on Monet, but he's going to get frostbit and charge. Already at half HP, and Monet can just right-click from afar as the charge connects, and one more right-click should do it, although Siamese Cat nets himself the kill with another frostbite. And this Broodmother feels like it's getting shut down a bit in the last couple minutes.
I love playing Spirit Breaker against this hero, I gotta say. It feels so rewarding and so powerful that if Brood shows at any point, you get this connection, and Crystal Maiden is a great support to play it with in the early stages because you have this long route and slow. You see Pichu in this game choosing to max out Frostbite, which we've seen sometimes. It varies whether people prioritize Frostbite or Crystal Nova, but against the Brood, the route is just so good to allow Sniper to get in all of that damage. Let's see if Monet's skills Assassinate or not, because we've seen different Sniper builds here on level 6, whether you take that route at all, or if you focus on maxing out Headshot. All right, Boxy with the
charge. And that is enough burst damage, but Boca charge not in time. Wicked gets credit for that kill. That is his first of the game. He has a haste rune still, and with the Falcon Blade going for the BKB as a pretty fast item. Matu is getting chased, but just on the other side of the fog here. So
very good ward there. Pichu will realize this. Like he read that all too well, so gonna get the D ward, and they force out the glyph. Lesh will immediately rotate into mid. They don't want to lose their mid tower. Ori is gonna show here.
Yeah, well, Mickey is getting charged, so now there's TPs coming into the mid lane. See if we can get the LSA off. Oh, uses the Horsey and gives himself enough distance to get away. But in the meantime, they're going to find Boxy instead, who was trying to help out Mickey, but wasn't really needed in the end.
Yeah, it looked like Boxy was trying to find an angle where he could maybe get a dispose onto the Lesh rack, but what Aster did really well there was that they rotated not only the Lesh, but also the Crystal Maiden in the tree line. So when Boxy did try to go for that, just gets frostbitten from the side and does not find any move. At the very least, the good news for Liquid here, bottom tower will be claimed. Brood is starting to build a new home here, as Brood does. I wonder what build Zai goes here. We've seen a lot of Broods go this Arcane Boots into either Pipe or Wraith Pact, these kind of auras. I assume this game will be no different, but I wonder what the priority will be.
Pipe is pretty freaking good this game.
Yeah, there is a lot of random magic damage, and it's a great way of keeping your spiders alive during fights.
As he is taking control of the bottom lane. I mean, that's the one thing about transitioning out of this lane against the Brood. You just take over, which he has done already.
Has to be so careful with showing on the lane, though. He's actually showing his hero, and that means he's opening himself up to being charged at any point.
Yep, all they need is a little bit of vision here. As a couple members of Aster in the cover of smoke, Zai in the trees, but his spidey senses are tingling for once that actually makes
literally.
sense. Yep. Looks like he'll be okay, so a little bit of wasted time, although I have an idea that he's in the air.
Wasted though.
Ops. Oh, Crystal Nova just off. Actually did connect, and now they have the vision. There's the charge from Baboka. In comes XSS as well. And that is a big kill onto Zai. It took some time, but it worked out, and now XXX can just go back to where he came from.
This is a pretty cool duo of heroes that we like never see played. The Spirit Breaker plus Underlord combo. You charge someone, you Fiend's Gate in, and Spirit Breaker has that natural follow-up that he needs. This hero's one of its weaknesses, even though it's one of the best roamers in the game, is that it doesn't really solo kill very well. But you know, if you have something like Underlord connecting or Sunstrike, like whatever it is at your disposal, then situations can suddenly look quite promising. Boboka with a charge, no ruin here.
Moxie is here. Nice Pit of Malice though, but the dispose keeps XXS at bay. Already at half HP, and in comes the Lich as well. But look, 4 members of Aster are continuing on here as Insania gets off his Chain Frost. Looks like he will drop in the end as Matu has finally come to play, but the Laguna Blade on top of the Rupture is enough to find himself a kill. Now the focus is onto Boboka, but the sniper gets the damage as Boxy gets the stun off. And Boboka will be next. Big turnaround here for Liquid. Great transition from Matu.
And they make sure to bring the numbers there. Matsu coming in, Lina with the double damage. It's just too overwhelming. And Monet, yeah, would have probably been wise to not get involved there. You can understand why he's trying to help out his teammates, but Boxy isolates him with the rebound dispose combo, and once Sniper is repositioned, he's not getting out of there. Does not have any way of repositioning himself for now. Wonder if he's going to buy a shard later to try to help with that, but for now, obviously going a pretty standard route. Mask of Madness to Wraith Bands and Shreds. Eyeing up the Dragonlance, Pike, another way to reposition, of course. And he should need it this game. You got to be feeling really good if you're Liquid with that exchange, though.
Yep, absolutely. The lead has slipped into their side, just barely though. As we get in, we're gonna rehash this conversation again, Cinder. You know where I'm going with this, I'm sure. But the old Roshan, as we're gonna see another strike onto Insania. Ori's in the air, he gets off the Lightning Storm. But the Frost Shield ends up mitigating a bit of damage here and forces the rest of Aster away as this is taking just too long. They get a high five for their efforts. But which team would you say has the advantage in the Roche pit for both killing and fighting in the area?
I guess for killing, I would imagine Liquid does it maybe a little bit faster. It's kind of close.
After the yeah. I have a jump in 2 here. I think we can fight. I'm really sure. Sniper! Okay. Fuck yeah, let's go!
Alright, that was an Eternal Envy type showdown. That was nice.
They got done with their Naruto episode and now they're playing. So, good to see.
Indeed. Anyway, you were saying about Roshan, Cinderin.
Yeah, so I think overall, I guess the Dire, depending on, I guess it's level 1 it's kind of hard to say who's faster. I do like Aster's chances of fighting in the area in general though. Underlord, Lesh, and Spirit Breaker as well as Shrapnel level 4. He's very, very good in that area. But I think neither team has any interest in even thinking about Roche for quite a while. Neither lineup is particularly good at it. There's a lot of risk involved. Foxy will get charged.
Charge in the top lane next to the tier 2, but the Frost Shield comes out again. Chain Frost not really bouncing, but finally goes off of the creeps. And that's going to cause Ori to drop. Boboka gets disposed. TP canceled. Second kill for Liquid.
Very good.
A big punish in this top lane. That Frost Shield has been kind of pretty annoying for Aster to get through.
Yeah, they chose to go for that with 5-second cooldown another strike. They didn't have Spirit Breaker ult, so missing that component, but also Liquid seemed like they just read that play like a book, you know. Mike was in position immediately, getting that counterplay. Nicely done from them. They get those 2. Mike now rocking a BKB. Is very ready to fight. Liquid actually hitting a strong time here. And
the Horsey is there. He gets stunned and brought down. Huge kill for Liquid, but XXS has come to play with his ult. Gets off the nice Pit of Malice and Firestorm. Insania looks to be the sacrifice at the very least, but Mickey and Matu want to continue to fight potentially. They're going to try to focus onto the Crystal Maiden. And a nice shot from Foxy. Under 2 heroes with Mickey's LSA to follow. 4 dead for Aster and Liquid. I mean, they got the big kill to start, and Aster still wanted to fight, and they get punished.
Yeah, just Lesh didn't get to play his hero there. Got chain stun completely, rebound into the LSA, took the full burst there from Mike, and they get that job done easily. You're gonna see on the replay here, so really nice way to open this with Boxy getting the rebound. They kill the sniper before any assistance arrives. As XXS comes in and does kill off the Lich, it's a pretty small consolation prize. Nice fear here, by the way, from Insania.
And Boxy stun coming up soon.
Yep.
Which
Sige, laban.
Absolutely
Dalawa
destroyed.
stun.
My God.
Stun into double stun.
Normal lang, Matu,
And that was the Bloodstone reveal as well on the Lesh, and it just gets destroyed. Not literally, not a Kyle. But Baboka now in the bot lane. He's going for the Shadow Blade. As Zai, again, he's just been chilling in the bot lane. He's close to finishing his pipe, and we talked about the amount of magic damage that Aster has. That is going to be a huge pickup for them.
4K gold.
The play call here from Liquid is just leave Zai alone. Let him do whatever he wants. He needs to get that item before he really offers teamfight impact. Curious to see what the idea is now. It's coming out. Are you going to see a bigger rotation? Are we looking at a bottom tier 2 tower? Are we looking at a potential rotation into killing a hero mid and then getting Roche? There's plenty of options for Liquid here with the game state they have set themselves up for. And I mean, essentially, if Zai doesn't have to join, why would he, right? He can also just keep farming down here and keep being a pestilence, forcing heroes to rotate down here and defend, putting pressure on the tower, and just farming up, get toward his next item. Maybe an Axe could be on the menu. Extremely annoying item to play Spirit Breaker against the Brood Axe. So definitely could be something he's considering.
And Liquid want to keep up the aggression. Mickey now, or the BKB from Matu. So 2 BKBs on the side of Liquid. And they are definitely ready to fight as the tier 2 tower will take a little bit of damage, but XXS is going to show himself with the Firestorm, but Liquid want to kind of reset here. One thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that these two obviously face in the upper bracket, and we've seen it so many times. The upper bracket team that wins, that faces the team again in the lower bracket. The lower bracket team ends up learning more about that matchup overall, and they got to see Tundra beat Aster as well. But potentially that's what we're seeing here right now. But standing onto the high ground, he is so tanky at half HP, but he'll be the sacrifice. As it looks like it's going to be a trade for the position 5.
Okay lang
Nice
yan.
freezing kill coming out, but it only delays the inevitable.
Oh, they ruptured Lash.
Yep, he gets his Bloodstone off just in time as Matu pops the BKB, but the Lash is dead. Laguna Blade into the grave, and Baboka getting chased, but a nice Pit of Malice keeping Boxy and company in this area. But the Dispose comes out on Baboka, but he does have the status resistance and gets the charge off. That right click is coming for him. Is that enough? It doesn't look like it. He shall live.
What an amazing escape from Baboka there, turning around to dodge the stun and then finding the charge through everyone to survive. I definitely had him expected dead there, but he gets out of there. Still, the big kill for Liquid is the Lesh. They keep finding him every fight. Zai, okay.
Yep, he's here all alone. Insania on the outskirts, but the Assassinate is coming, and that's not going to help you there. So Monet getting a nice pickup for himself as he's kind of struggling. He's middle of the pack in terms of net worth, and this is a hero that you do not want in that area. I mean, how much of a comeback mechanic do you have on this hero, would you feel, based on the items that he's going for? Because he has Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, he's going for Hurricane Pike, so it feels like more mobility / utility than damage.
Yeah, I guess with this build, you definitely do farm slower than if you had, say, Mom Maelstrom, but you probably just have to get the Pike at this time. If you go Mask Maelstrom, it's gonna take too long before you have the essential items to be any sort of presence in a team fight. In skirmishes, this is also a pretty good single target damage build, right? You have a long range, obviously you can activate the take aim for the guaranteed headshots, which by the way are only level 2 on Monet currently, so his damage will ramp up significantly when he levels up to 13, 14.
Oh, Matu getting charged, and there's a Fiend's Gate here as well. He pops the BKB, but still gets stunned. That is 4 members of Aster, and that is a nice pickup for them. Very nice team play, and now, I mean, the Fiend's Gate is so cool, but Mickey, he's in the area. He's in Viz right now. Oh, the Alisay does not.
Okay lang yan. Patay na rin naman yan.
Laguna
Ayos
Blade
lang yan.
with the
Patay na rin
Bloodstone,
yan.
healing up a decent amount. The
Patay na yan.
BKB popped by Mickey, and that is enough to take
Ayos lang
out
yan, ayos
Ori
lang yan.
again. He's left by his team via the Fiend's Gate, and Liquid taking full advantage.
Yeah,
may
that
Laguna
missed stun from Mickey ends up costing him a BKB charge, but still well worth it. You're happy to get that kill.
Matanik na eh.
And probably the bottom tier 2 tower. I don't think you have a chance of defending this as Aster. Well, maybe they are.
Oh, yung mga gilid-gilid nyo. Mickey, masyado pa asim. Yung mga gilid-gilid. Nice. Yan.
Finally comes out. It's only going to connect a couple times, but Mickey looks to be mega dead, and Zai and company have to get the hell out of here. Insania is successful, but Zai inside the Pit of Malice charged up, and it looks like he's going to be brought down as well. So Aster successfully defend the tier 2 tower.
It seems like Liquid had the same expectation that I did, that tower was just going to be given to them with a dead Lesh, but the crucial part in all of this is that Mickey with the miss stun ends up using the BKB on the first kill, and Astra are like, wait a minute, can't we just go on this guy and kill him with Spirit Breaker and Underlord? And they could. There wasn't enough protection there. I don't think there was a defensive dispose from Boxy to try to reposition and keep him alive. And that's huge for Astra.
Yeah, we have a rupture onto XXS, but the rest of his team is coming. A nice charge onto 2, but the Blood Right does connect. Silence that Space Cow. But Boxy just getting right-click from afar. And Matu, despite having to beat KB, does have the move speed to get away. And no range for the Assassinate, or no vision for the Assassinate.
They had
okay lang.
vision that could have been so
Lipat
much
yung
bigger
lead.
for Astra, but they're very, very happy with this for sure. The game was starting to look a little bit scary for a while with the control Liquid were getting, but
And the first Roche attempt is
Na,
here.
alam nyo na yan kung nasan
Astra
yan.
know that they're in a 5v4 situation.
no BKB on Matumba either.
Yeah.
Bloodseeker is just not a very good hero in this time in the game when you don't have that BKB. It's so hard to run in and do anything. You can just get turned on and blasted. So as it looks, Liquid, I think they really want to try to poke at this, but it's just really difficult. They don't know the exact timing either. Every spider's getting killed outside the pit.
Yeah, looks like Monet will get the Aegis. Not putting on the Lesh. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's good on both. A lot of the time we do see it on Lesh because you get so much value from getting the full mana refill when you die as well, but maybe the logic is Lesh is less susceptible to dying straight away. He has more health, he has the Bloodstone, whereas if Monet gets jumped, he can just die instantly. And this way you also maybe open up a little bit more for the potential of poking top tier 2 tower with just the sniper. Lesh needs to go closer and expose himself to do that. Sniper can just safely take it from range, and if you do try to jump on him with your Marcy combination with Lina, you know he has that second life you have to worry about.
Both those fours have 4 deaths each for Monet and Ori. But they've kind of brought this game back, Cinder, and this is network-wise very even. And obviously with the Aegis, it's going to help them potentially extend that just a bit, as the tier 2 tower is not being defended yet.
And I think it is worth keeping in mind for a game like this that a lot of the expectation of how the game goes kind of rides or dies with Brood, right? And Zai's impact, aside from pushing out this bottom lane being there, has not felt like Brood has been a first phase hero, right? Or arguably it has, because Astra solved it so well. A lot of Liquid's Brood game wins, they would be in a much, much better position than this now. And I think even just in an even game state like this in terms of gold, the Radiant lineup is having a pretty solid time scaling late game. I think a lot of what Brood offers becomes less and less important against this lineup. Whereas Astra's lineup is just going to scale to the moon, right? Sniper, Underlord, Lesh, Tricor.
That is true. Raid Pack has been there for a little bit on the Underlord, as we see a full smoke here from Aster. And we can see that they are trying to go into the enemy triangle is the question. As a 4-stat picked up from Mickey, actually, so he's going the full Hurricane Pike as well.
He sold it again.
The way. Did he?
Yep. Oh, changed his mind for now. He's still... Oh, he's changing over to Silver Edge. Okay, so I guess he wants the break for Atrophy Aura.
And they need some more damage. He's going to get spotted, charge, right clicks, dead. Easy kill for Aster. See if they go for this tier 2 tower bottom now that they have the top. Or if they're just happy to farm away. I mean, how important is it for Aster to use this Aegis in an effective way? Or are they fine just farming? Like you said, they do technically scale better.
Yeah, I think they're fine farming, but I wouldn't mind seeing them trying to use this Aegis for another tier 2 tower. Probably mid is the most accessible one for them right now, because I think Brood really thrives in the bottom tower area. There's so many trees, so many angles you can find there to be annoying for the support. But
he changed his mind again. He went Hurricane.
Oh, he changed again. All right. Well, maybe the gold lined up nice.
Dire's bottom tower
Liquid are not too
attack.
phased by the Aegis, though. They're still gonna look to cross the river and maybe make an aggressive move. They do have a double damage on Mickey, which would be really nice for them to put to use. But Boka will push out that wave and reposition himself. It looks like Astra are aware that Liquid have some big plan here. Ori also farming very defensively over on the ancient side, making sure to stay all the way left to not get caught. And this move from Liquid will bear fruit in the sense they get some good aggressive wards out. You see they get the good ward over at the Radiant Triangle, and they get a good ward down in mid, so definitely looking for some sort of catch against the Aegis team at some point in the near future. But it looks like they'll have to settle for Mickey just, 10-shotting the top tier 1 tower casually with sidekick and double damage. Packing 400 damage with that per hit. Not bad, but now it's run out. And Aster will... They will opt for the bottom tower rather than the mid one. This was the one they had the option to access. I think they would have been happy to take mid, but that's where Liquid were grouped up and covering the lane. So they will settle for a trade in the off lanes.
And they will get it successfully. So 2K lead for Aster is the Aegis.
Okay.
It's expiring in 40 seconds.
Yeah. They will knock on the high ground though. Sniper very good at this. Obviously, massive range. The only repositioning tool Liquid have is, aside from an offensive pipe from Mickey, which is probably a bit naive to think is going to happen, you have level 2 disposed. So he's feeling pretty damn safe standing down here hitting this tower. You just keep throwing out one shrapnel if he wants to hit it some more. There we go. He's going to keep poking at it.
Pop the mathematics. The defense is coming for Liquid. Ori up in front. He's going to get ruptured. Pops the BKB. That's not going to do too much for him. But he's kept himself away far enough as the Aegis is expiring in 3 seconds. Trying to get through the Fiend's Gate. He does so successfully. And Aster retreat. In part. Still a couple members here.
Yep.
And Ori can just refill and, okay, does not want to take the Fiend's Gate. Wants to farm up mid.
I'm surprised Ori went in an edict at that tower. I think letting Sniper just keep doing his thing was pretty good. It only cost him a BKB charge, which isn't the end of the world. And I guess he didn't force the glyph, so maybe it's okay. But if Liquid find a move off it, the story will be very, very different. Ori,
Laguna Blade, but no LSA connection, but they still find the Crystal Maiden nonetheless. The right clicks are way too much. They find the kill onto Ori. So 3 dead overall, the complete segregation of that fight, but Liquid coming out way on top.
Yeah, so what ends up happening there is Lesh has BKB cooldown from bottom, and he's walking in the mid lane together with Spirit Breaker. I think a pretty crucial mistake there from Aster, actually. The 2 heroes were even stacking up, so they got chain stunned and didn't get a charge up to try to protect Ori. He just walked straight into Matu, got ruptured and killed, or actually didn't even rupture, I think. They just hit him. He couldn't get away anyway without the BKB.
I able to clean up the tier 2 mid.
That is a huge swing for Liquid.
And we won't know for the next Roche for another minute 40, but that is going to be an extremely important factor in this game, as it usually is. But looking at Ori's item progression, obviously they've had the Bloodstone for a long time. BKB is on 8 seconds. He's only used it once, surprisingly.
Yep.
Has the casual play now, and I would assume an eventual Shiva's, but still going for his Boots of Travel. I mean, his farm for a Lash is not very good this game.
No, I think he's had a couple of times maybe pushing one wave too many, and Liquid have done a really good job punishing him. Overall, the 5 deaths on the Lesh is a major setback. You compare that to Mickey on the Lina with only 2. Has a 50 CS advantage because of this. The thing I wonder here for Ori is if Travels is actually the right choice, because you're obviously playing against Rupture, right? So having extra mobility in the fight isn't necessarily going to translate to more safety or more damage. Whereas having items where you can just stand your ground and survive longer, like you said, the Shiva or something to that effect, could be an interesting choice. But maybe even Ags could be a thing this game. You're against Brood, Bloodseeker, and an attack damage Lina build.
Nihilism.
I think Nihilism could be interesting, but for now it is going to be the Travels. And obviously, it depends whether the flow of the game will turn into a little bit more of a stalemate where the teams are just pushing out waves and farming, because then Travels are obviously great. But if we have a key fight coming up sometime soon, this might not be the best allocation of net worth that Ori can have at this point in time. Getting those Travels up. Roche will be known to us now. It's a long respawn.
Yes.
233. Will be quite a while before Aster potentially get their hands on that. And I do say Aster because they are controlling the area for now, and they did get the first one. There's no saying that Liquid can't make a team move in there and contest it.
And Matu has his Mjolnir now. Zai has had the Wraith Pact pipe and is going for Aghanim Scepter. Spinner Snare, really.
Yeah, it is very good, this Axe. When you're playing a Brood role where you don't have to deal very much damage, this Axe is just incredible for map control.
Smoke up, but they see Boxy. They're going to start charging him next to Liquid's outpost, technically in control of Aster right now. The charge is there, but the Frost is going to
nagpauna yung ano,
Ori, though, and Baboka end up taking him out with the help of Monet. Just like that, it's a 5v4, but BKB already popped by XXS as they find Zai in the trees, but the charge onto Matu. See who they try to focus here. Firestorm doing a lot of damage. Lich ult coming out, but it's only going to bounce once. Zai just gets cleaned up. Double kill for Monet. As the Fiend Gate's back to the fountain, they can just refresh and rejoin this fight as Insignia looks to be next. 3 dead for Liquid. And Aster looking very good now, but like you said, Roche is not going to be up for another minute, so they can't take advantage of that.
Definitely consider themselves lucky that this isn't up, because this would have been an easy collateral for Aster. Ward would have forced 2 buybacks out of Liquid, but yeah, just a very different fight in terms of positioning here, right? So you get the charge onto the Marcy, so she doesn't get to play the fight at all. Ori gets ruptured, they get this Marcy kill, they run back, and then they zone control. Underlord is creating tons of space by just running in with a Pit of Malice and just frontlining. Sniper is keeping them at bay with shrapnels. There's the Crystal Maiden ult coming up. It's just too difficult for Liquid to re-engage here. And a nicely played fight here from Aster will secure themselves a good position in the game once again. And the control of the pit, 30-second respawn on that. Both teams will want to get access to this. This is the second Roche, so will come with a little bit of a bonus.
And Mickey has the Daedalus, so he will start to hurt. Is opting to go for a Lincoln Sphere as the next item.
Okay, that's I like that approach too. You know, you're feeling a lot safer against the Rupture. You get yourself that freedom of movement.
Well, the Rupture's on his team.
I was looking at the Lesh. He's also going like.
Oh, yeah, that one makes
sense. Scan.
Everybody gets a lane.
The charge is very annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, the only way to take full advantage of that, if you're the Spirit Breaker, is to get an Ags, which he is going for. So the Lincolns won't be that big of a deal at that point.
Aster,
so we have a smoke now from Liquid.
Aster poked the Roche and went out. They feel like Liquid are going to come contest this, and they're very right. The top lane is all the way in the tier 3 tower, and no one from Liquid's defending this. Is a dead giveaway that Liquid are up to something here.
And Roche has a
will do the same.
Scanning.
Baboka is terrifying with that Shadow Blade that he's had for a while. If they get vision on anyone, they could just get stunned out of nowhere on Liquid's side with very minimal defense, except like we talked about the Frost Shield, but doesn't really save you from this Radiant lineup very well.
Yep, Ori already used his Bloodstone, thinking that he was going to get jumped, so another 15-second cooldown on that.
Success. Will find the ward.
And very tense as both teams know that Roche is up.
With the gem, knows that Liquid have vision here. Obviously not going to go for the D-ward. Way too risky. He could get jumped by Marcy and just blast it there, so gets the information, gets back. They have Baboka clean up mid with a charge. Next wave will now be cut by Baboka as well. Going to clean this up out of the Shadow Blade, just killing all of those spiders in one charge.
Ever since they changed it, really good. His bash to do that much damage to creeps.
Yeah.
Very even better counter.
I think this is the most CS I've seen a Spirit Breaker have been at 34 since Shao played at mid. That's what spiders will do for you.
That is true. I mean, he's halfway to his Ags, and that thing is crazy how good.
Invisibility.
Still posturing on the other side of the map. No one quite ready to fight, knowing that this Roche could potentially decide the game. I mean, it's a little early to call that, but
there's a very good chance that
the win percentage with second Roche has got to be really high for the team that gets it. As look how close this game was. Yeah. 68% for Aster. Do you feel that? Watching this right now as the Rupture on
Huli ang singkamas. Akuha na.
A 1-for-1, but it's a support for a mid. And Liquid trying to reset. Now the Boxy is on relatively low HP. Dispose with the rebound movement speed buff as well. They're able to reset completely.
Huli ang
the
singkamas.
5v4 situation effectively here. Lesh has buyback too, but no BKB ready, so if he connects, he has to be careful. The trade-off here, of course, Liquid using 2 of theirs, Marcy and Bloodseeker with a minute cooldown, and Aster are actually confident that this is enough for them to contest the pit. They know they can buy back their ledge.
Double damage, double damage.
They have the outpost too, so the
double
connection
damage.
point is there.
Ooh, Monet, double damage as well.
Ayaw mag-BKB. Patay ka dyan. Naka-double damage dyan.
Safety, but they're gonna find a space cow first. Laguna Blade on the XXX.
Nice! Ayos lang. Banda-banda na. Hati-hati. Wala
Siamese Cat
mag-aaway.
looks to be next on the list, but double
Hati-hati
buybacks
tayo.
now for
Wala
Aster. They can
mag-aaway.
reconnect relatively quickly.
Kakabay-ba ka
Especially
na.
once you put a Fiend's Gate there. Still 5v5, but that is several buybacks from Aster. But like you said, the BKB is very important for Liquid to charge on the Mickey.
Huli! Huli, sniper!
Boxy's gonna be dead.
Ate?
Trying to help his
Ate nung
teammate.
sniper.
Wants the BKB. Trying to get the dive back onto Ori. He's at half HP, but the Bloodstone healing up.
Nice! Huli, sniper! Bobo! Oh! Sinigya! Sinigya ni Sai. Ano ba yan? Ano nangyari? Ano nangyari? Ang tagal mamatay. Ang tagal mamatay nung sniper. Ano nangyari?
Despite just standing still for the last 30 seconds, Matu has already died, and now Boca trying to chase the
Nice.
lead, but there's a rebound. Mickey gets
Nice.
easily stunned, disposed back, they
Ano?
kill Monet.
Ano, Monet? Mabay-back ka pa? O, ubus na kayo.
And now the Unleashed going to town on XXX is bought back in
Bubuhay.
as well. Looks like Broodmother is next here though, and now this is turned into a 3
Nice.
versus 2.
Patay
Technically
mo na rin
in
yan.
favor of
Nice.
Aster, but
Takbo na muna, Baxi.
That's
Takbo na,
another
Baxi.
dieback for him. Boxy
Ayos.
keeping away. He is successful. 6K lead for Liquid. What the hell was that
Monet,
fight?
pabay-back ka.
Actually, completely
Yun
insane.
lang,
If
nag-roll
Aster
yan.
do end up claiming this, I guess they're somewhat okay with what they had to throw for that. They spent, how many buybacks was that? I kind of lost the overview.
A lot. I mean, this isn't even accurate.
4 buybacks, I believe, from Aster used in this situation. Obviously, they had to buy back Ori in the beginning, so again, Ori really not progressing
Liquid.
too much.
They want to go. They have the rebound available. Roche is relatively low. The Frost shield is
Ay,
in. Nice hit of
nahuli.
Alice. Gonna root that. The Fox
Nice.
is gonna pin. He gets to dispose of. Who
Aegis.
gets the Roche
Aegis,
is the
Boxy.
question. Nobody
Aegis.
wants to kill it. And
Nakuha.
finally, Monet, he snatches the Aegis. So technically, Liquid get the kill. Not sure who got the shard on top of that, but either way, Aster is happy with
Lamang
this
naman eh,
exchange.
lamang naman eh.
Looks like Boxy, did he actually take the shard?
Boxy grabbed it and in a fit of panic, he used it instantly. I don't think.
Oh no!
I don't think that's the best shard they could have used there. Maybe. What are the other options? Brood or Lina? Yeah, maybe it's actually.
Patayin nyo na lang agad. Patayin nyo na lang.
They have a save that they haven't had before. They can obviously rebound the target away.
Not able to hit the
Sala, stun ata ni Mickey.
I mean,
Nakakapilata
honestly, the
ako.
craziest thing about the team fight that we just saw was how long Monet stayed alive, right? It's because he's getting Crimson guarded by the Underlord, so the spiders do 0 damage. Zai has a 0 damage item build, so he's basically tickling him. And Monet was just using Mask of Madness, standing still and pressing A-click on the ground.
I've never seen a sniper stand still for that amount of time. And we have some more action, it looks like, potentially. Rupture. But Zai is kind of stuck. He's going to get charged at it. XXX is taking the brunt of the damage from Matu. He's going to get bashed up, but we'll be able to get the Fiend's Gate out in time. As Liquid just don't have the damage right now, but Zai, he gets charged in on, into the Nether Strike and into the right clicks of Monet. And now with the assault onto XXS, he's going to add insult to injury, and this push will be even faster for Aster. No pun, I mean, that was a rhyme. Intended. Tier 2 tower looks to be done. How much more can they get? Still 3.5 minutes on the Aegis.
50 seconds on Brood as well.
Yep.
And Zaya does not have buyback gold. They do not know this for a fact, but they might have a feeling based on the Aghanim Scepter being purchased that he cannot reconnect to this fight. Still, you have to be a little bit careful about this high ground push. Marcy is very terrifying on defense, and as we've already established, Boxy with the dagger doesn't even need to rebound in. He can blink in and dispose and rebound out to maybe force a BKB. He can obviously also rebound in and dispose and then blink out if he's fast enough. If he takes any damage, that is not happening.
He can rebound his teammates.
He can
Very
also do
important.
that. He could rebound Mickey in and lose the game. That is another option he has.
We have seen it during the DPC. We have seen the Marcy Shard win games and lose games. Come on, Boxy. Habibi!
I'm keeping over. I'm keeping over. I can't get it. I mean, whatever happens, this fight will do a good for something.
Yeah, buyback sniper.
And Sania counting the buybacks there.
Yeah.
Wonder if he counted all of them and wrote down all the times. That would be very impressive. That would be inhuman, as a matter of fact.
Indeed. It's nice to have a human calculator on your team, as I'm sure you can attest to.
Yep, I have that every game.
Well, 2 minutes still on the Aegis for Aster, but Liquid, in terms of net worth, have the very slight lead right now. In incredibly close game. DD is bottled from Monet,
Kaya yan,
and
pag
I'm
natalo na ni
sure
Baxi yan,
that they're going to want to use it here to at least
BKB
get a tier
talo na
3,
agad.
if not, try to get a barracks.
That bottom lane is very, very open. Minute 50. I don't know how much is left on the bottle. When did he pick that up? So if he picked it up around 40, it might have been sitting there for a little bit, but should have enough time to maybe connect on a wave. The spinner snares are starting to make life difficult for Aster. Very annoying.
Techies was deleted, but
I actually think
lives on in Brood.
I was saying this is kind of the new old Techies, spinner snare. It is incredibly annoying to play against. Don't underestimate how much the mental means, but well, no snares bottom just yet. Monet pumps the DD. Will force out the glyph. They will get another glyph after this tower falls, mind you, with the changes. So Liquid do have another round of defense for the barracks.
Tier 3 finally down.
Yeah, Monet's attack speed is nothing to scoff at. He's got a lot of attack speed items. They have the AC on the Underlord, Mask of Madness activation. It's looking pretty good for Aster. This is a big moment now. Liquid will try to find perhaps an angle. Just pushing out mid for now. Do they even have any smokes left? They do not. Yeah, they do. They have one on box. So if Liquid do want to challenge something here, they can, but it's a very, very difficult position to access yourself into. You keep scouting them with spinner snare, though. Oh, Monet, well, we can't flip another one. No, XXS, however. They'll find another spinner snare. I'm sure he's having a great time there.
They're smoked up, but he knows, right? It notifies them.
Yep. This does not happen.
That is actually hilarious, man. I think it's my first game casting Broodags.
It's one of those things that's hilarious to watch, and then you're imagining being a player on Aster.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That's
Dota, right?
It is very annoying, let me tell you. All right, Liquid. It's time. This Aegis expiring just now. Aster will place XXS to cover the high ground. Box gets shown in.
Oh. Yan. Okay, labanan mo. Patay sa'yo yan. Oh. Walang gagawin yan eh. Walang gagawin yung sniper. Oh, saglit eh. Oh, eto pa isa. Oh, bobo ka. Ayun pa isa. Yung nagpa-teleport. Boss. Oh. Na-rebound.
I'm pretty sure. Not able to get the rebound. Boxy has been playing out of his mind. And now down the mid lane, Liquid goes with a 7K lead, knowing that a lot of these buybacks will not be available.
Dying hero eh.
At the moment.
And you just love the confidence from Boxy, right? The
saglit ang tira ni Line, oh. Dire-diretso na yan, walang buyback yan, ha. Dire-diretso yan.
And Monet tries to come in and help, but they just destroy him with Marcy. Lina, he didn't even get to play the fight.
Dire-diretso, walang buyback. Tapusin na.
Just not the case. Liquid, are they actually just
walang
going to
buyback yan, tapusin na.
They know that sniper's not back for 60 seconds. Tier.
Tapusin na, walang buyback yan.
They're gonna be able to take it out pretty swiftly.
Ayos lang yan, ang tagal pa niyan, Diyos ko. Paspasan mo na, Lina. Paspasan nyo na. Nice. Sige lang. Tayo, lagyan mo ng sapot, yung hindi nakakagalaw.
Will Liquid continue on here? 33 seconds on Monet. Crimson Guard trying to make a little bit of damage.
Yun, huli.
There's the initiation on XXS.
Huli.
They get the
Oh, tapusin.
They force tap him as well, but he's gonna live inside the fountain.
Tapusin na. Yan, frozen throne na. Ano na. Yan na, natatapos na. Konti na lang, segundo na lang. Segundo na lang yan. Segundo na lang yan, 1-0 na. Tapusin nyo na.
I don't know how this team continues to give everybody heart attacks around the world, but I'm close to that right now, Cinderin. Good Lord.
What an amazing way for them to do that. So the moment Aegis expires, they're like, it's go time. We smoke, they run in, they find an amazing fight. There's no buyback on Aster on the sniper. Their best line of defense is out of play, and Liquid just take the risk. They're assuming he doesn't have the buyback with the fresh butterfly, and they just commit. They run down the mid lane, they push through it, and they get the job done. What an amazing way to end that game. And not the way I thought it was going to end, or the speed.
Yeah.
This happened very suddenly. They found the perfect moment, and they get themselves up 1-0.
Absolutely unreal game. And if you're Aster, obviously we talked about they 2-0'd Liquid in the upper bracket. They face them now, and this is a team. This is a different Liquid team than we saw in the upper bracket. I mean, they were upper bracket, sure, but their momentum, despite this break, is just ridiculous. This is like
team spirit. Not to pat myself on the back, Team DC from TI6. Like,
malungkot
a
yung
lot of
isang
these memories are
caster
coming back to me
kasi
sooner, and this team is pretty fearsome, to be sure. Let's go to the studio and see what they have to say. Don't listen to Sinner anymore.
Thank you for that. Indeed, I know that a lot of people were wondering, like, 5-day break, that momentum, it might be gone. No, it's not. No, it's not. Team Liquid take game 1 here against Aster, so they are one step away from getting to that final day of the International 11. I'm joined by Jenkins, Lacoste, and Effie. Effie, this game, where do you want to start breaking it down? Because it was such a close game till the very end when we saw Monet die without buyback.
I mean, that was a great game, just as we expect from Liquid, but I guess I just want to start from the draft, because I think that they did something really cool conceptually that game, which was they countered the Leshrac that they gave to Ori, which is one of his best heroes, with the same timing, the 15-minute pipe timing on the Broodmother versus the 15-minute timing of the Blitzen on the Leshrac. And it felt like every time Ori was taking these fights, he just was not healing. And the BKB from Lina came in so early as well. So I think if you just break it down to basics like that, they had a lot of really cool ideas that they obviously prepared for.
How does this keep happening? Every single time Team Liquid plays, it's just pure chaos, pretty much. You know, ever since, like, their days in Alliance, some of these players, like, you know that they're not going to be able to close out the game. Something weird's going to happen.
Like
they're serious against Thunder Awaken.
Like,
yeah.
Brood coming through the portal of the Underlord.
Yeah, Zai's like, yeah, I got to check it out to see what's in this door. And, yeah, he joins, but most of the time he was at the bottom, just chilling, farming his items, something that Effie did mention. This was brutal. Like, this fight right here, people life-stealing from both of the Wraith packs, having the life-steal from the sidekick, Paladin and Sword as well. I think Boxy is having the time of his life. Like, this is some extremely good performance. This might even be, you know, Boxy Tosca really up there, but Boxy on Marcy completely
that
different.
TP was insane.
So many times clutch plays coming out from him.
It's like a redemption arc for him, I feel like, because, you know, when Liquid lost Taiga, I think a lot of people were thinking, you know, Taiga, for this guy, he's an offlaner. He's coming in and taking Taiga's role, you know, fan favorite going over to OG, but it's like he has absolutely proven himself over the year. I think we were pleasantly surprised casting him in throughout the EU DPC, but this isn't just like a pleasant surprise from him. This is fucking insane. He's legitimately carrying his team. That last game was entirely on his shoulders. The blink up onto the high ground, the BKB TP out that we saw. He was not only initiating every single fight, his 2 cores were dead, and he was carrying it. He was doing the damage. This guy's a 4 position, not the carry.
No, he's definitely insane on that role, as you say. And someone who's also insane, a little bit, is Sir Slack, who's in the crowd.
Wala kayong audio.
Stadium is packed. I thought that we would go and talk to some people about that last game. Pretty exciting stuff here. Hello. Who are you rooting for in that last game?
Liquid, obviously.
Obviously. Oh, wow. Well, what'd you think?
I thought it was phenomenal.
And what do you think about this stadium here right now? You feeling it? You feeling the TI hype?
It's beautiful. Look at it. We got flags and banners. What's going on? It's great.
All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Canada? I saw the hat. I thought you were one of my people. Can we get one yeehaw, please? Canadian yeehaw?
Yeehaw!
Yeah! All right, any Aster fans? Anybody like Aster? Oh, okay, we got an Aster fan. What do you think about that last game, my friend? They need some words of encouragement. Anything to say?
They're both pretty good, but I just support whoever wins the team fight, actually.
Okay, well, that's depressing. I think they needed something more. Don't worry, you can do it, Aster, right, boy? Everybody, we got? Aster! All right, fantastic. Well, we're going to pass it back to the panel, my friends. But before we do, I just wanted everyone in the arena to let those people that are watching know what they missed. Can we please tell them from home how hyped we are? Let's go, Singapore! I'll do it. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Slacks. Indeed, Slacks and banners. What more do we really need? I know that Aster needs a little bit more, though, because they got a lot of pressure on them now, Lacoste.
Yeah, most definitely, because, you know, they showed what how good Dota they can play on LAN, but if they don't win this series, this is going to be the second time in TI history that there's not going to be a Chinese team in top 3. There was one time that it happened, it was TI3, but other than that, you know, they are carrying the torch for their region.
Yep, definitely, because they eliminated the other Chinese team that was in the TI, that was still in TI, and PSG LGD. Let's hear them talk about it.
打那个汤者的时候，我能感觉到我们队有一趟压力，就是自己给自己压力，就没有什么别的原因，就是可能感觉就是放不开吧，就我们。我觉得兰姆他就是，然后输给汤角之后，他还跟我们说了，是我们打的太没有那个进攻性了，就是打得太怂了。然后我们总结过了，就改天就打败老干爹嘛，
就感觉老干爹一直是我们就是在中国赛区最大的竞争对手，然后之前也很多比赛被他们什么3比0、2比0，然后就各种被他们就是被他们干嘛，然后。
Minute 22, Gaben gave Radiant 88% chance of winning.
Damage is going to be enough to actually get beautiful rolls coming out from XXS. They take him out 2 for nothing to start this fight. He's A-OK as Ori. He's going to get the instant kill onto Nothing to Say, who does not have buyback. And now they're going to turn this around onto the Primal Beast. This is what's looking like the beginning of the end of game number 1 as Aster has come back with a vengeance. He's going to get the double spear with the shard. Triple kill on Ori. Nothing to Say is dead. Will he get the Sunder? No. 4 dead for PSG LGD as GG's come out. Aster eliminate LGD from TI11.
How did it feel knocking out LGD? What was it like?
打完之后感觉又是挺可惜的感觉，就有被死边什么的，看蛮可惜的感觉。
这次到了 TI， 肯定还是想往更高的名次冲刺，想把以前的那些输掉的比赛都赢回来。
我觉得我们今年这5个人在一起的那一刻，我就觉得我们是奔着今年的冠军来的。我
挺难忘的吧，这7年来，这是我第一次冲进 TI 4强，并且有拿冠军的机会吧，所以我非常珍惜这一把翻盘，然后也很珍惜和我的队友走到现在。
我觉得不管是老干爹还好，还是我们，还是RNG好，为了中国粉丝尽力去拿下这一个冠军吧。然后之前中国赛区的成绩都比较不错，然后都是老干爹，差不多都是老干爹拿的。然后今年到我们了，所以我觉得我们也要接下这个重任，然后不负众望。
Now that for sure is a lot of responsibility to carry on your shoulders, but if there's one coach that can propel you to do that, it is Alanam, because he's been at every international apart from one. He only missed TI7. This is his 10th international, his first as a coach, and he knows what you need as a player, I think, Jenkins, in order to make sure that you can focus on your game most of all.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's been one of the most experienced people at this TI at the start and at the end, which it is funny that for this TI, a lot of the newcomers, the new blood, we're actually losing them. We're down 20% in terms of new blood versus old blood. It turns out experience is reigning supreme here, at least in the main stage of TI.
Yeah, Aster still has also a first-timer, Effie.
Yeah, in Siamese Cat. Interestingly enough, we found out today that he's the oldest player on Aster, but he is the newest to competitive play, which I thought was really cool because he's kind of like Aster's troublemaker in that he's always starting fights in pubs in China and coming up with memes. But I really like that you guys brought up the experience factor because that really feels like it was what Aster was lacking. Last year, they had really great results within China, but not internationally. But this year, they brought in Ori, who has so much competitive experience, and it really felt like that was the piece of the puzzle they needed, just some in-game shot caller, someone to play around, someone who knows their stuff. And if you combine that with Lanham, who we've already talked about has so much TI experience, you can really see the effect of it on this team.
You can indeed. Fun fact about...
Okay, let's go. Game 2, Liquid.
Siamese Cat is that he wants to open a pet shop. He wasn't playing professional Dota 2, but he is playing professional Dota 2. A cat shop specifically, by the way. What's in the name? And he is playing Dota 2. He's walking to the stage right now. We got Team Liquid and Aster for the second game of this best of 3. They'll be taking their places. The pressure is on. The crowd is there to give them more energy, though, to propel through for sure as they are taking their seats. Now, one thing we've been talking about Aster, and we can continue talking about Aster, but isn't it also a lot of fun to hear players talk about players or teams talk about teams? For example, to hear Team Liquid talking about Team Aster.
I think Aster... They're individual. They're very, very strong.
A lot of the Chinese teams tend to have like a very good idea of like cohesion, and they play together very well, and they understand like how to ebb and flow around the map. Like when someone's being aggressive on one side, the other side is defensive, and they play this kind of map very, very well.
I think their individual strengths, along with like I'm sure Lanem brings a lot to the table because the cohesion and their overall strategies is also very solid.
In a lot of games, you can see they get severely outfarmed, but it doesn't matter because they just construct this 5-man ball that eventually will win the game. You know, no matter how much you outfarm them, they will win the game. It's their style, and it works well for them, and we're gonna try to counter that.
Well, and they did already in that first game, of course. I want to talk a little bit more about the game plan that we saw coming out from Aster. This is one of the faster drafts we've had, right? Because you do have 5 days to prepare. We saw the Underlord Spearbreaker, XXS Baboka have been playing together in the same team since 2015. That's over 7 years, Lacoste.
Yeah, I mean, 7 years. Some people have not been playing Dota for that long that are in this tournament, which is, you know, pretty impressive. Sticking together, the chemistry is out there. And they're on to something. I mean, Monet did talk about, you know, I'm going to quote him, with the 5-day break, it feels like everyone's caught on a cliffhanger. Like, it's a lot of time to think about what you're going to do. And I kind of liked what they had in this game, number 1, with the Spirit Breaker and the Underlord, because you can have like a bit more of a global presence. And also Underlord against the Bloodseeker, where you can use the portal reset, going back to Fountain while you're ruptured and then come back in. So you know that they're theory crafted quite a lot. We could see this in game 1, but they might need to bang out something even stronger.
But to talk about the other side of the coin, I think Liquid prepared for this match so well. I was genuinely so impressed. I did manage to talk about it a little bit, but they gave away Aster's comfort heroes. They gave away the 2 heroes that they lost to in the upper bracket, right? They lost to Aster's Lesh and their Sniper in that game 1, and they just comfortably gave it away with ideas of their own. And I thought that Broodmother into the Lesh was very innovative, because typically you don't really think about them as a timing versus timing hero, but that's actually what it turned out to be. And of course, Boxy, who lost on the Marcy twice to Aster, just came out swinging, right? He had a great upper bracket performance, but this one topped even that. So I feel like Liquid, their momentum didn't stop. The 5-day break did not hurt them like a lot of fans were worried that it would do. It actually seems to have benefited them. And you can really see the impact of the 3 coaches in Liquid now in this 5-day break. They really upped their analysis.
And going back to Aster, I don't feel like what they prepared is something that they want to go back on. I think they can feel pretty good about that game, especially Baboka on the Spirit Breaker. He was, I think,
some clutch stuff.
Yeah, the same way that we're talking about Boxy playing Marcy, if Aster had won, we'd be saying almost the exact same stuff about Baboka. Like, the 4 positions both carried so hard in both of these games. So I feel like the game just came down. It was very close for the entire thing. It was back and forth either way, and it came down to like 1 or 2 like clutch fights right at the end. I think Aster can repeat the same thing, maybe with a little bit of a tweak, and they can feel good about their preparation.
I mean, after the game, it's easy to say, oh, they should have done that, but I don't mind. Like, I think Aster played well. They did. Shot calling, went to use the buybacks. This is where the game kind of went towards Liquid's way, because they used 4 buybacks, and they didn't get too much out of it. They got Aegis. Boxy did still shard, and it's a mean shot. You know, he also consumed it.
Okay, guys, it is time. We're going to head into that second game of Liquid versus Aster. Let's head over to some experts for the draft.
Team Liquid. Team Liquid versus Team Aster. Game 2.
Game 2.
Thank you, voice of God. Suns fan here with Cinderin, and again joining us is Stormstormer and Toby from Entity Game 1. What did you guys think?
Exciting match, great to kick off I think. A lot of action in early and mid game, a lot of fighting. I think you could see the nerfs a bit as well. Like people tend to go for a bit more risky plays and stuff, but I mean that's what the stage makes you do. So pretty enjoyable, pretty back and forth game, enjoyable to watch.
Feels like having a player like Boxy who's not afraid to take risks is so powerful when you're in this game state, and he was on the Marcy, which he will not be this time, because it will be on Aster. I think we unanimously agreed that it felt like Boxy probably the MVP of that last game. Yeah. Just tons of playmaking, a lot of confidence, just really landing stun after stun. When his smoke breaks, he's just blinking in, setting things up for his team, giving vision. This time around, though, has to find another solution.
Yep.
Ayan, Taskar, di ba?
I guess the only new hero is the Tusk.
Oh, there's a
Diba?
Primalist.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Primal's in the pool. You're right.
So you talk about how Marcy owned, and these are fast picks, by the way. You don't know exactly what's going on, but Boxy's Tusk has been pretty disgusting as well. Like he's played like 3 or 4 heroes like S tier.
Yep. For sure.
Do you like it as a counter 4 matchup against Marcy? Is Tusk one of the better ones, or do you not really mind?
I think Boxy just went down his list and took the second hero after Marcy.
That's honestly how it goes sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, one of the very crazy things is the 8 sniper on Aster. It seems like they have very high confidence pick. Like they rate it super highly. There's not a Lina this time, and sniper is usually a Lina counter. So they just like it no matter what. Bans are also looking pretty similar. Looks like Liquid is going the list down again. They banned the Mars second stage as well last time.
Yep.
Don't remember what else they banned. I think Naga, but that was for the Brood, so they might not opt to that.
Yes, they banned Mars, Naga, and Pango. I do think the Pango will go. Yeah, it will. So, yeah, it's. I feel like when you're targeting XXS in second phase bans, these would be my 2 go-to ones. A potential honorable mention to Brewmaster. I don't know if. I guess Brew's a pretty good hero against Lesh, right? I've seen some teams use it as a counter pick. Just, Lesh hits this amazing timing with Bloodstone. You just cyclone him and fight someone else. So it might be worth a ban here for Liquid as well.
I think it's also one of XXX's top tier heroes, and they're gonna have to pick 16, 17. They don't know what they're going up against. And I think Asa is one of the teams that might pick it up if it's not getting banned in second stage. If you think it's good, Toby.
There's a Visage for him.
He plays Visage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is in as well. Yeah, Visage an old school Lash rank counter as well. Still in the pool.
I'm thinking hard about this lone druid ban on Aster.
True, actually. yeah. So still, like, once again, you're playing against Liquid, you're playing against Marty, you're thinking, do you ban the lone druid or do you not?
Paper, it's bad against those heroes.
Getting rid of the Lich. This time around, I guess Aster, especially with this opening, are more countered by Frost Shield, and Insania did have a pretty meaningful impact in that last game with some Chain Frosts too. However, would you say Lich is like, I guess the Frost Shield component against snipers, just straight right click is nice, but he's never really going to be in position for Chain Frost. He's never going to be in range for the, and he's one of the heroes that can kill the Spire if Lich goes for that. It's kind of a hybrid mix.
I think the Frost Shield would have been good against both Sniper and Marcy. Yeah. Like, it would have just countered them too hard with the Lich. Also, the Brew ban coming out last from Liquid, I think that's very smart. As I said, like, XXS really loves this hero and would have been a decent answer to the Lash rack. The main coming out is no surprise, honestly. Maybe it's a surprise it didn't get banned. It's one of those heroes that Insania just loves to play. It's another Frost hero and a stronger lane. Surprised it didn't get banned, I guess.
Yeah, they're more afraid of Lich than Serum.
Yeah. But I think it makes sense against Marcy and Sniper with the Lich, no? Like,
I guess.
With the Frost shield.
Do you think there's any downside to having a lineup that doesn't have a ton of flexibility right now? Kind of know where I mean, you said they could play position 1 Lesh technically. You said Aster wasn't able to do that probably, but we're going to see a Putka.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. This sniper punches flex, definitely.
I meant for Liquid.
Yeah, I think Liquid, they don't flex the Lesh too much. I don't think Mato's played Lesh a single time this tournament, and Mika always had good results.
Mika can play safe lane Lesh.
I suppose, yeah, if there's a good reason. Oh,
okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's silent. Silent.
They really want a solution for the Sniper in their lineup here with that backline jump.
This now really interesting.
So I believe it was Liquid against Thunder Awaken, where Thunder were picking Pudge into Lesh, and he is just insane against this hero. You pop Flesh Heap, you take basically no damage from Edict, you take almost no damage from Pulse Nova if you have any sort of magic resist on top of it. So is a direct counter here from Aster to the Lesh. Do you feel like Storm's matchup against Pudge is meaningful though? Or?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's I honestly I don't have to play any of the two heroes, but it's really a decent matchup for the Storms. Really does very well against many melee heroes, and obviously an answer to Sniper, which I feel like they were lacking. I think the mid matchup is probably fine.
I've seen Storm lose mid really hard to Sniper.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. So like they could actually opt to put the Sniper mid and the Pudge carry. That could be a very, I think, Sniper fair matchup of midding against the Storm.
Is there a world that you can play a 3 Pudge on XXS? Because he has also played that hero in the past, or is that just kind of outdated at this point? We've barely seen it this tournament, right? It's almost only carry and mid.
I think that would be wild. I think that would be a bit like crazy, especially because Monet and Ori are just insanely confident on it.
Yeah.
And I picture XXS as sort of the team fight hero player, like the Panda like a band out the Pang or the Mars. They even banning like more and more the Tide. I think they want some AoE control on this last pick on Aster possibly.
Liquid, by being second pick, will have the ultimate last pick of the draft. You guys need to pick a hero for XXS now. What's it going to be? Like you don't know your carry matchup, so I'm assuming you're trying to pick an offlaner that initiates for your team and maybe has a solution for Storm to an extent, or Sank.
No, you don't want to get counterpicked by Matu and playing his sinking.
Yeah, so
casual Visage.
Visage. Okay.
Any melee strength hero.
Yeah, Visage is pretty decent in this game. I guess Aster's teamfight would then not look that good. I'm still curious if Liquid is thinking about putting the Leshrac possibly on Matu, but I think it's almost 99% on Zai. He showed it multiple times.
I like Dawnbreaker against CM.
Oh, Dawnbreaker's still on the pool.
Just killer.
Liquid might ban it though.
Yeah. Dawn for XXS is definitely an option. He was banned last game as well by Liquid. It's kind of going down the list again. I wonder if there's anything else they have their eyes on as a potential threat that Aster might go for, but yeah, Dawn seems pretty solid.
What else is in the pool even? So Brood is out, Enigma is out, Mars, Pango, Brew, Tide. So many threes are banned. And the Visage.
The Visage higher. Okay.
Right. Toby got it.
It feels like Dawn is a nice like layer of protection for the Sniper later on as well. Like it could be the difference maker about whether he stays alive or not if he gets jumped by like Storm Tusk. Maybe a Donald can buy some time. You also have the hook, obviously, to try, and you have the... If it gets really crazy, maybe you can get a dispose off, but most of the time that's going to be tough. So what do you feel now? You like the Visage, right? And now that's not an option for Aster anymore, so
I don't really like Dawn, but it's like the only thing left.
Still the best one? Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one, honestly. I'm not sure what else is even still left in the pool, and you have to consider that Liquid has the ultimate last pick against it.
I'd say I've seen Lone Druid do pretty well against Dawn in games that I've watched. Not really here at TI. I don't think it's been a common matchup, but just high-ranked top games, Lone Druid fares well in that lane a lot of the time. Are you thinking about Lone as Aster? You probably are, right? As an option here for Liquid. So is that a concern for Dawn, or is it still just the best choice you have and you just kind of have to deal with it?
I think you just have to pick it.
There's also the Underlord that he played last game. Yeah. Maybe it's a tough line pick, but it's a decent fit.
Omni Knight. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's a core? Marcy or Omni?
So,
or Jakiro.
Or Jakiro.
So what's the idea?
So this is a Matu hero, right? Lone Druid, you're saying. What do you guys think of Spectre? Good against Sniper, good against like pure damage through Omni Knight's ult.
I think they have Pudge problems. They need
Pudge is too good against that?
Yeah, they need someone
to need damage for Pudge.
Yeah, the Lifesteal also not. The Spectre is not really needed because you already have to Storm against the Sniper. You could double counter him, but I'm not sure also how. Like, Spectre is a pretty outdated hero.
Is there actually even a carry left that counters Pudge on that matchup? Ursa, Bloodseeker, and Lifesteal are the 3 best. They're all gone. Something like CK can sometimes overpower it, but you're still against Flesh Heap and you're against GA, so it's kind of worry.
Yeah, it's not a good CK.
You have no dispels whatsoever against Omni in this game. I actually really like this last pick from Aster, given that they don't have ultimate last pick. I think it puts a lot lot of pressure on Liquid to find a perfect hero that might not exist.
Waffling is the perfect hero, but Matu doesn't play it.
Matu plays Morph? No? Maybe he hasn't played it this tournament. He definitely plays it.
I guess. I mean, there's always like, it depends what
Terror
you
Blade.
practiced the last couple of months and how
Terror
confident
Blade
you're on it. So,
may metamorphosis
in any
yun,
case, is this an offlane Omni, you think? Or XXX Marcy? That's actually like still not obvious.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily.
Oh, what if it's an Ori
Sounds
sniper
like
and
offlane Omni.
carry Marcy with Omni support? That's also an option.
Tuwa si manager
Looks like
Probably
they've
not.
made their selection. They're going to wait till the last second. The whole gyro meme, I believe, is what Blitz said. Just to make Insania sweat a bit. And it will
the
be the
Morph
Morphling.
pick.
Okay.
Nice call, Toby.
Toby proven.
Well, you said it was the best pick, but
I
you said he
know
wasn't
it.
playing it, so you get 1 point.
Mid-punch.
out of two. That's
Matu
still
was
pretty good.
laughing, so I think he
He's like,
understood.
it's perfect
So
pick,
it's like,
but
I
I
don't play
don't
this
like
hero,
it.
guys.
Toby on the case predicting every hero.
All right, so whose draft do you guys like?
So it's a 5 Omni for PQ.
Offlane Marcy.
Offlane Marcy XXS. Ori mid Pudge.
Ori mid Pudge, exactly. I like Liquid's draft, honestly. It's confidence coming out from this Morphling pick. I think it's a very good Morphling game. Also, Zai has done wonderful things on the Slash, Boxy Tusk. Curious to see how this mid matchup will go in the end. The Storm against Pudge, but I think Liquid's draft is...
I like Liquid's draft as well.
It's pretty damn good as
Hero
this
ni
Morphling
Bobo
last pick.
ka.
I think they got them.
How do you think Marcy Sniper fares against Lesh Tusk? I feel like that might be the lane to watch here. Is that clearly favored for either team? Assuming it's, or sorry, I said Marcy Sniper, sorry. Sniper Omni. Do they have the tools necessary to
Well,
lane?
Sniper Omni should do very well in this lane, I think.
Okay.
Unless they get outplayed.
And Marcy in any lane will do well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what we've learned at this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this hero is still bonkers, I guess. XXS can also
Plus
do
4
good things,
Jakiro, by
and
the
it's-
way.
Yeah, so Marcy Jakiro against Morph Maiden probably is going to be a
whatever.
farming lane, largely, right? But the Omni Sniper is definitely an oddball.
I guess the Marcy is also like not counted in any way this game, except the Morphling baby. I'm not sure what the lane goes like, but it's a decent Marcy game as well. Oh.
So Sir Action Slacks, I believe, is with us here with a nice interview before game number 2. Let's hear what he has to say.
Absolutely. I am here with Lanham and Helen. Hello, everybody. Welcome. First question for you. You're up against the big blue team, the big blue meanies here with that draft. Sniper last game, Sniper this game. I know Liquid has not beaten Sniper yet. Is this on purpose? Do you think that's their weakness?
你们对战一支全蓝的队伍，在本次比赛当中 ，Liquid 没有击败过火枪，你们是做了功课针对他们的吗？
这个英雄对他们的英雄池有一定的克制作用，嗯。
Well, this hero kind of counters their hero pool.
A standard answer. All right, all right. Let's talk about Omni Knight. Now, we don't see this hero a lot. Coming out here, last chance here. Do you believe in the omniscience? Do you believe that this is the power you need to come back in the series?
其实全能在本次比赛当中并没有选的很多，你对自己的全能有没有信心？信不信他？
我不信他，我也不会选出来吧。
Why would I pick him if I don't believe in him?
Yeah, baby, all right. And I just wanted to give you a moment here with the crowd. Of course, the crowd is cheering for you. They love you. I want you to have your last moment, so take it away. Say whatever you want to say.
现场观众有很多人都替你们打气，有没有什么想跟他们说的？
希望兄弟们打气的那个声音再大一点，我在里面听不到。
Yes, Aster, sorry.
Can you guys cheer louder? Because I can't hear you.
Oh, he wants that cheer louder. Can we give him one more before he gets to the game, Singapore? I think that's pretty loud enough. All right, we'll throw it back to our casters.
Thanks, Slacks and Lan M, Cinderin with Sunsfan.
You're welcome.
Hello, Sunsfan. Thank you. Liquid versus Aster, game number 2.
Game number 2, Liquid Aster.
Matu Morph, as we already discussed. We're going to see the Omni Knight support, which is a hero that didn't exist until recently, it feels like. Tell me what this hero offers.
Yeah, so Omni usually will, on level 1, skill Hammer of Purity, which is also what he has done here. So it's his trading ability in lane. You just do some damage and effectively trade HP off. You bring your tangos yourself and you try to trade with either the enemy support or the enemy offlane or whatever is better. And then later, okay, that's a start from Ori.
Yeah, the hook looks good. He's all warmed up from game number 1.
Yep.
Like, just give me Pudge. This is an elimination game. Give me Pudge. I want to have fun.
I will say, To be honest, this has been one of Ori's most impressive heroes to watch this year. After it became relevant as a core hero, he's been one of the standout players on it, so I think Aster will feel confident having him running that. To finish off on the Omni thought, aside from this early laning trading that he does here with Boxy, who's pulling the wave, what Omni is going to offer is a lot of defense. It's one of the most defensive supports in the game. You have a strong heal, you have a Dispel that gives regen, and your ulti, obviously the full physical block, which Liquid have done a very good job at. You know, with their lineup, they have solutions for Guardian Angel.
Okay. Ori, yeah, he pops the Fairy Fire, so he's going to live as a result. Matu getting pretty low in the bottom lane, and Zai getting low in the top lane. Action in all three.
Seeker in this lane, he would have a million move speed right now, but...
talk to me about the mid matchup. So Ori on the Pudge, Mickey on the Storm Spirit. Pudge is just, I mean, we've talked about this hero a lot, but very level dependent. Yeah. And the fact that he's being played in core really gets benefited from his passive, which is now an active. He has great base damage. He can write good attack animation. Like, it's really hard to deal with this hero.
I think this lane is pretty dangerous for Storm, because if you do get hooked, you have no way of repositioning yourself. You have 285 move speed, so you can never outrange the Pudge. Even if you vortex, the slow isn't enough. Slow yourself, so it's kind of a balancing lane where Pudge needs to gauge whether he can go for a kill or not. And if he can, and lands a hook, it probably just gets it all for Insania.
Dispose, and first blood this time goes to Aster.
Look at that. It's the same as last game. Marcy jumps Maiden and kills her in the same lane.
Marcy is, I mean, we talk about it. Wait, Primal Beast wasn't banned at all? Or was that in the second?
He was ignored, I think.
Completely ignored. Wow.
I believe so.
Yeah, Primal Beast and Marcy, we were both expecting to be the most picked / banned, but to get through at this late in the tournament, shocking.
Yeah, and there's that trade-off.
Ori with the rod. We got a TP coming in, but Boxy is a little too late. Gets the ice shards off.
He's level
Water
1
Rune is popped by Ori, and it looks like he's fine. Wants a high five. Will he get a high five back? No, Boxy just focusing on CS.
Oh, this is concerning for Liquid. Once Ori gets going on this hero, he has the ability to completely take over games. He's gonna now go and get the bounty rune for a refill.
Oh, yeah.
Also gonna hook the Centaur for some added benefit. He's gonna get a Tango, a Heavenly Grace. Everything to make good old Pudge happy here, and yep, that solo kill mid is enormous. He's 600 net worth now ahead of that Storm, and the level advantage is nothing to ignore either. When Storm hits 6 after Pudge, he's constantly at risk. Any connection on a hook is a kill. You can even just walk up and dismember him if the lane positioning is unfortunate for Mikko. He's not paying attention, being careful enough all the time. Yeah, it's scary, this mid lane start for Liquid.
And this is not even taking into account that there's a Marcy on your team that has not even bothered to help out in mid lane, because they don't need to, because he's winning that, and now they're going to go on top of Insania again as Matu trying to deal some damage to both, but it looks like Insania will be the death for Liquid again. 0-2 thus far in this lane.
Maybe just not the strongest of lanes, especially in the early levels. Liquid obviously acknowledging that Morphling has a good core game, but the Marcy Jakiro lane, insanely strong matchup. Like, you're gonna hit level 3 now as well, Ori will.
They're gonna go on top of Monet here. Looks like to find the kill first before Zai ends up being the trade.
Ice lang yan, ice lang.
So, favoring Liquid here. Yeah. Siamese Cat just trying to harass Boxy away. XXS tries to go for a cheeky rebound play, but Matu, as long as you get that strength off, you're not going to die in all likelihood here. And Ori, like you said, level 5, almost level 5.5, as Mickey just hits level 5 now, so he will have a kill opportunity. We'll see how passive Mickey will be at that point.
Monet is doing some serious damage to Boxy, not enough though. And yeah, this lane from Liquid, it's really fun to watch this lane because it feels so different from most of what we've seen. The Lesh Tusk is pretty common, right? But the Omni Sniper might be the first time this tournament this lane is even played, I would imagine. It's very special in the sense that Sniper has basically no way of repositioning himself, but Omni can make you strong enough to maybe stand your ground, even against Tusk Lesh. As long as there's creeps around that can eat part of the Edict, which, by the way, Zai isn't even skilling. He's going Lightning Storm stun for now, but Edict will be coming later. Perhaps it's enough. I also wonder how comfortable Liquid are playing against this matchup and Omni in general.
Boxy, he's in a rough spot. Gets off a nice ice shards though. Boxy, one of the best Tusk players in the world, of course. We've seen this time and time again. Looking certain death in the eye as poking onto the range creep.
Might have wanted
Ori,
the siege actually, but
yeah, possibly. Either way, the next creep should get him to level 6, and that is where Mickey has to be extremely careful. But Ori's taking a lot of damage here, so we'll see. Has 10 wand charges right now.
It is power rune time though.
Yeah, there it is.
And he's going to go for it right away.
Immediately, here comes the snowball to try to
Alright,
cancel, but the damage is already done to Mickey. Another TP to come out from Insania. Mickey dies first though, as Baboka is the one technically getting credit for that one. Zai in the meantime has to TP back to Fountain in the top lane.
Yeah, so the trade-off here is it's a 1-for-1 kill, but Liquid have to bring 2 supports mid to get the trade, and obviously that leaves their side lanes exposed, and Aster identify that and immediately take advantage of that top. Lesh is not a good hero 1v2. This hero thrives on playing with ideally a melee 4 that can set him up and tank some damage, go first. Once that's out of the window, even a lane like Sniper Omni can actually just bully you out. Put on a little bit of a Hammer of Purity and a Shrapnel and just run Lesh down, and he has to back. So,
talk to me about back to Pudge, of course. Can't stop talking about this fat guy, but
understandable.
Ori has his phase boots. He's going for the casual cloak into Ag. That's really fast.
Yeah.
Is that because he's owning right now?
It's that, and he has Omni, right? I think that that extra layer of protection really helps in speeding up your hero going for a faster pace. So I don't mind it. We've seen some different builds on Pudge. We've seen Blink Rush was popularized, especially in the China region earlier this year. Cloak into Axe has been run without Omni as well, so it's not like a first time. We've seen Hood into Axe. We'll see. If he dies once, he might just buy a Hood for value. But as long as he's balling like this, I mean, he has died once. If he dies again,
Meg.
Yeah, but that death, it was a good trade.
It was a trade.
They got the XP.
Oh, close to hitting that hook on Mickey. Had the ward seeing Mickey's movement, which he's now going to ping, is like, why on earth would Ori ever hook here unless he saw me on a ward?
Yeah.
But Ori did not count correctly with the, didn't account for Storm's slow movement speed and threw the hook out too early. Mickey obviously not even having boots will make that movement.
Imagine being that slow and it benefiting you as Mickey gets out the Electric Vortex. Boxy is here as well. Ice Shards to connect onto Ori. He's stuck here. Gets off the hook though. Instantly cancel on the Dismember, so no kill comes out from Aster this time. But that is a haste rune.
Oh, this rune is insane on Pudge.
Indeed. And just like that, Mickey zips as far away as he can, knowing that he can't really contest here.
Or he's going to see Boxy. He might just go for it. No, he's not.
So it's time.
Keep in mind, Ori's going for a pretty standard Pudge build here. He's going 1-3-2, which means when he activates Flesh Heap, it blocks all of the self-damage from Rot. This spell gains so much from the second point. And when you have that haste rune, you can just run at people with Rot and Flesh Heap on the duration, usually enough to find a key kill in a fight. So you've got to be very, very careful as Liquid around the map right now.
Yep, and they actually just drew. I believe that was Boxy. They know that this gank attempt is happening. Zai TP's out.
Honestly, I'm really impressed.
Good attempt from Ori.
Yeah, good read.
Pop the haste now and get back to mid.
Great read from Zai to TP there, because I think a lot of players in that situation just start running and probably get out from running, aside from the obviously Pudge connection there. So he knew that that was a haste play coming in when Sniper started playing aggro and instantly TP'd away, so well done. Still a very Aster favored early game. Last game was a lot more even at this point.
Yeah, but with all this this movement, it's kind of created some space here for Matu to catch up a bit. He's top 2 net worth right now, so he's off to a pretty good start. He, of course, went for... Oh, he's going straight Lincolns right away. First item. This is like super old school.
It's pretty old school.
It's
not a build we see
rebound
right now.
Xania is eventually, surely Crystal Maiden doesn't run away from somebody. Surely he is dead. They want Ori to try to get these Flesh Heap stacks. The hook connects, and Ori gets another Flesh Heap stack to his name, which is now at 3. But yeah,
that might be the longest that Maiden escape from
Face
created. I thought it was slow motion at first. Big zip in with a connection from Boxy. They're focusing on Baboka. They get him. Make it a little bit low on mana as Ori is now TP'd in. Looking for a connection of their own, faking the hook, not going to go for it.
That was with the power rune picked up from Mickey. He got a double damage, and that enabled that play to be very swift. So immediately converting that to a support kill. Not the biggest, but it's still nice for Liquid to force rotation, if nothing else, from Aster. They do get the TPs in toward mid, which I think arguably are worth more than the kill itself in that instance. Just getting Ori as well as Pichu's TPs on cooldown, which could potentially open up for something here up top. Boxy is thinking about it. He's getting level 6 from the next creep in Fog. But Pichu in a very good position here, covering Monet, and it is a difficult kill. Keep in mind, if he Heavenly Graces at the right time and removes multiple abilities, Monet just gets that bit stronger. That could keep him alive. He also has Raindrop and a decently charged up wand. So this play probably does not actually exist for Liquid. Hook, Matu with a quick wave form.
They could just go for the tier 1 tower on top of the Omni Knife potentially. Gets off the Heavenly Grace, but Boxy, he's the one kind of isolated right now. The snowball is going to buy him a little bit of time, but he's just going to get right-clicked by Monet. So a really easy kill here from Aster.
Yeah, and Liquid even brought a Maiden for that just to die in a 2v3. That feels really bad. You're the one allocating resources to try to threaten the sniper, and he's just standing his ground, showing to be way too powerful with the Omni Knight behind. You kind of settled for trying to go on the Omni, but just not possible.
Oh, we got Ori. He's going to get the Dismember up, but that's against another punch named Matu. Trying to get off a little bit of damage here, but he's going to get Ice Path inside the Macro Pyre. Hook back into the fray, and down goes Matu. Zip back in, but now the Heavenly Grace comes out as Mickey has to walk away in shame. Aster here in numbers. Not sure if they see Insania, but...
Yeah, he's got no resources left.
He's a pig.
Oh, this is one way Maiden can escape for a few seconds, but now
Hook potential.
Nawawala yung live natin, gawa ng bagyo eh.
Doesn't get much better than that.
That was a Save Your Friend Syndrome domino effect. Something.
Babalik na tayo, guys. Babalik na.
On the bright side for Aster, Ori is more than halfway to his Ags. Once he gets that, against a Lesh, against a Morph,
wala masyadong makopya si Matu. Pads lang ang maganda.
Actually, can't remember anymore.
Yeah,
that was changed.
It should favor Aster.
So a really good Pudge Ags game.
I'll cancel the punch out there.
Ayun, may pinapatay pala eh. Ayos na ayos din pala.
No cancel anymore.
His thing is running out.
Oh, nakapatay pala eh. Tayo lang pala nawawala eh.
Omni captive.
Very good pala
very
eh.
happy all the time, don't they?
They do. I mean, it definitely
Sige, kape na, kape oh.
That's right. That'll help. Indeed.
Oh, kape. Oh, yan na naman. Nyaka paeng.
Ice Path not able to connect here. But yeah, I mean, this game was definitely Aster favor, but that one move, it felt like it brought Liquid back into the game, and it's essentially even for net worth-wise, at least. You can see Zai still working on a Bloodstone. Obviously, position 3 is not going to farm nearly as fast as the usual mids that we've been seeing. Mickey getting relatively close to finishing the Sage Kaya. And of course, on Matu's side, let's go back to this Linken Spear. This is like a Dota 1 classic. Literally every game you buy this first item. And then early games of Dota 2, it kind of transitioned over and then disappeared pretty much. I don't remember why at this point. More items were added.
Yeah, a lot of the times you would see now, I think most Morphlings buy Falcon Blade into something else than Linken's. There's like plenty of item builds you can go on this hero, but I'm just looking for the reasoning for the Linken's. If is it Dismember, is it Dismember?
Mickey zips in, but there's 3 members of Aster. He doesn't seem to give a crap about it. There goes the Guardian Angel, and Mickey's just gonna get punished right off the bat. And Aster super happy with this exchange as Insania baiting them into a potential chase of the lifetime again, but they will give up on that.
You can't underestimate how much Omni does in these situations. If you're jumping a support and you're like, man, he's low, I can get this kill. Omni casts Heavenly Grace and the level 1 Purification, and Baboka all of a sudden wasn't even remotely close to dying.
Yeah.
But Mickey needs backup. This is not the greatest Storm game to solo kill in, because the enemy supports are actually relatively tanky, right? There's a Jakiro, there's an Omni. If you want to get a solo kill on either, you really have to burst your entire mana pool away, and then you might not even be able to get out afterwards, so might have had to wait for the Sanj Kai there. That could have made the difference, potentially.
And Ori destroying an illusion here as we're going to see a bunch of items picked up. So Bloodstone for Zai, and we saw Ori's Aghanim Scepter now being completed.
Pudge is insanely strong right now. He's easily the strongest hero on the map. If he has Omni Knight protection and he gets Flesh Heap off, I think Liquid genuinely can't even kill him with 5 heroes during the duration of Flesh Heap plus Heavenly Grace. So they've got to be pretty strategic about how they approach this fight. Ori has queued up his next item. It's going to be the Blink Dagger. So, they're going to go on him top here. Flesheap is
going to try for it. Ice Shark blocking him in. Nobody nearby, but he's going to go for Dismember. Instantly canceled thanks to the split earth from Zai, but this rot is decimating them as Zai forced the TP out, but the hook back in. Split earth is coming. He's faking it out. Doesn't do enough damage, though, as Zai can just be walked down on. Ori with another stack of Flesheap. That's up to 7.
Yeah. They need more heroes than that. That doesn't cut it. It looks juicy, right? It looks tempting. He's even half duration Flesheap when they initiate. All it takes is for one support to show up, and Ori can clean house there, and that's...
And Aster back to 2K now.
It feels like Liquid will not make that mistake again. It's kind of like you're testing the limits. Are you able to pull that off? The answer is no. Next time you're bringing probably the Storm or the Morph to make sure you get that done. But it's a costly learning experience. It's 2 heroes dead. It's almost a mid-tier 1. It's more Flesheap stacks like we talked about. And something else I guess we didn't mention. Marcy with Pudge is pretty interesting too, just for the rebound move speed. This hero isn't too fast, but effectively giving him haste when he initiates, he jumps on him. XXS will finish the tower here, no problem.
Yeah, very not really defended. Rebound, looking for an opening, but none to be found yet. He's going to be shown, but no Blink Dagger yet there for the instant initiation from Ori.
We see Matsu going for pretty standard morph here. One of the best items to get against Pudge with the Ags. The stat steal is very powerful, and you steal this obviously stat resistance as well, so you can maybe lock onto him and bring him down. It's the link hits that's a little bit unusual, I would say. Maybe we're talking about that a bit too much. It's not like
let's bring it up for the 3rd time.
It's not like an insane rarity, but I think a lot of players in this spot would have gone for a cheaper build-up with Falcon Blade into the Ags, or maybe
well, I would say
maybe it's a Manta game. I don't know.
First item is variant. Yeah. But there's Dismember, there is Dispose, and there's Assassinate.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's one argument is Linken's is extremely good when there's only 3 things that cancel, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's also a feel-good item in terms of like being full health and mana when you're pushing around the map, in terms of farming. It is a good item on the hero, but...
They're hunting a sniper, but he has a lot of distance there. Boxy looking for an opening.
He has the pike, though. This is not easy.
Yeah, and he's going to use it prematurely there.
They're spam pinging it out. They know.
Good awareness there from Aster as their lead continues to grow. Now at 4K with the Blink Dagger now online on Ori. So he can just jump in. I would assume a BKB would be next.
Let us fight.
As Zai and Boxy just have to try to keep Aster at bay a bit. And you know what this conversation's going against, Cinderant.
Yep.
Who does it benefit?
The tier 5 neutral item? Roche.
The same joke every time. Eventually somebody will laugh.
That's the thing, though. When you get toward the end of the tournament, you run out of content, right? It's the same with the teams. But actually, we should... The drafts have been pretty creative today, so that's been pretty cool.
True.
Roche... I guess if Boxy had more levels in tag team, probably the Radiant is the faster Roche killers, but overall, Marcy will always be one of the best heroes at doing it as a core. Level 2 Unleash with 4 in Sidekick. Speaking of which, Mickey...
Oh, zips just in time. Wants to get a little bit aggressive, but he's outnumbered.
Ano na, paeng?
He'll get out.
He'll get out.
Good reaction. If that connects, that could have been really scary. But yeah, I guess either team can rotate relatively quickly if they find 1 or 2 core kills, and that looks to be the game plan here for Aster. They're rotating top to start taking control of this area so they can start threatening Roche. And if Liquid is showing 2 cores on the enemy side of the map or something like this, you could just sneak it with Marcy plus Sniper, I guess. It's actually... They're pretty good at killing it. So, both teams looking at it more and more. Yep, there we go. They see cores bottom. Well, it's only 1 core in the Lesh, but let's see if he pops the Unleash or not. XXS is holding on to it, so this will be a slower kill than what it could be, but does offer the protection of, in case a fight breaks out, he has that BKB Unleash, which is very, very powerful. And yeah, Aster know that they don't need it at all to kill it. They will grab it. Looks like it's going on Monet again, like last game. Could have seen it on Pudge in this one, honestly. I
could have.
Definitely think Ori is in a position to just go crazy with an Aegis,
but it's
rather protect Monet.
Yeah, Monet always gets the Aegis. That's what we've learned here. No matter the hero. Onto the high ground, the hook connects. But see Insania trying to get away, but some good moves. Not going to be enough, though. Split Earth onto the sniper is the rest of Liquid trying to get away in this bot lane. Shrapnel slowing him to a crawl. Zai continuing to get headshot. Do they have the stun? They do. Ori with a double kill across the map. Now top lane, looks like Liquid want to try to get something out of this.
AK's out of mana.
He is. I don't know if he can get this kill. Has to TP out. Will live, but no kill for Liquid at all.
If Aster had any TP with a stun there, that could have been a dead storm, but they're all on cooldown or unavailable. So Mickey, I mean, that was just a full-on global fight, top to bottom to top again. Very understandable that Mickey tries for it with how many heroes from Aster rotated, but again, Storm just doesn't have enough of the tanks to solo even the Jakiro.
XXS, that's who they want. Boxy has the Blink Dagger, Walrus punch as well, but XXS gets off his BKB and Unleash, and now he wants to fight because Ori has come to play. Matu, nice save on the Boxy. But it's going to cost them the Crystal Maiden again. It could have been a lot worse for Liquid, but Aster able to keep their position 3 Marcy alive.
All things considered, that was not too terrible. Matu showing up with the Axe there. Definitely helping out against the Pudge.
The zip in, they're trying to take out the Omni Knight. The hook from Matu, that is enough for a kill, but the instant initiation from Ori, they delete Boxy from the map, so it's a 1-for-1 in this little mini engagement.
Nice.
XXS
Nice,
is gonna
Matu.
get split Earth with Matu
Nice,
just right-clicking
Matu.
him. Looks
Nice.
like they're
Ito pa, Pudge.
as well. And Aster, like they're gonna retreat despite having the Aegis for another 3 minutes.
Nice dodge on the hook there from Liquid. Both of their heroes sidestepped it to the right. If that connects this fight, it's totally different, but they dodged that Ori play. And also great play call there from Mickey to go for the Omni in this situation. It's not an obvious move that you're able to pull this off, but with the hook connection from Matsu, they get that kill. Sure, the trade-off for the Tusk isn't the best, but it's good enough. When Omni's out of play, suddenly you can access new targets. You know there's no BKB on XXS, and that dodge on the hook, crucial for how this fight plays out. Zai would have been in a very precarious position there, but gets to just run away and reset.
Now we joke that Matu doesn't play Morphling, and he's not really, he's playing Pudge. Right? That's probably the reason he was laughing. Looking forward to getting that Agnum Scepter and turning into a big, juicy boy. I mean, how much stats does he get from that when he turns into a strength hero?
So you steal 20% of their strength, and then he steals 40% status resist because it's a strength hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's very meaningful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still, obviously, part of the equation that Ori does have the Omni Knight. We cannot forget how much that matters in this instance, because even if Morph steals away a lot of Pudge's tankability, Pudge is there, or Omni's there to return it to him.
Yep, true.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It'll be a tower for Aster bottom. Zaya's doing a lot of damage top from the fog. With
I mean, kind of what it feels like he needs to do at this point. It's only a 3K lead, though, for Aster, but again, with the Aegis, and now knocking on the high ground on the tier 3 bottom.
It's a slightly different vibe to this than the last push they did last game in a similar situation. Feels like they're in a stronger spot.
Yeah, but Monet continuing to get sidekicks, which he didn't get last game, so we'll definitely expedite the high ground offense.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top lane was being pressured a bit by Mata, actually forced out a fortification from Aster.
Boxy there.
But Ori, he wants to go in deep, instant initiation, counter initiation from Liquid. Snowball connects, the zip in by Mickey, pops the BKB as well, but he gets dismembered. He's gonna die inside the BKB. No! Zips away with just a sliver of HP. Now can go heal up in the fountain. Now that the BKBs are down on Aster, but the hook comes out from Ori. Zai gets off the Bloodstone, but it matters not. The rot is too powerful. Now this Rax is under peril.
They're still pretty sustainable, Aster, with the Omni Knight. A lot of the time, Storm in situations like this can start finding kills when heroes stick around for too long, but Aster are not phased, they're not worried. They have enough in the tank to keep the heroes safe. You even see the salve here from XXS going to be up to full health again. And it's like nothing happened for Aster. The only thing that's really on cooldown here that matters is the Marcy BKB.
Oh, the blink hook, dismember, death for Insania. Aegis is down, but this is going to be a full set of racks now. Ori has a BKB. I mean, not that they could kill him anyway before that.
Yeah. I guess the silver lining here for Liquid is that Mickey survived because of the status resistance and Kai Assange, right? He would have died
that's a good point.
So, I mean, it's a very thin silver lining. It's like, it could have been worse, but essentially you got basically nothing and lost a full lane. And Aster are gonna start looking to push out the other 2 lanes on the map to keep this pressure. Now, bottom lane's going to be a constant issue that Liquid have to deal with to get pushed out, and that means Aster will look to push out mid first and actually making a rotation toward top, feeling like they could find Mickey up here. This time he will have BKB again. It's been that long. Pichu's taking the outpost. That will be a giveaway to Mickey that they fear. He also has a ward there, keeping him safe.
Ori is eyeing a Shiva's as the next item.
He is. It's kind of incredible that Matu has higher net worth than him, actually. I just looked and I was like, that's very surprising. Ori has 10 kills.
Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't
like 200 CS.
Well,
Matu has almost 300.
He did go Lincoln, so it's not really a damage build, right?
Right.
But now he's going Scotty. He's only a point booster away. But I feel like it's going to be one item on top of the Scotty before he's really dishing out damage, like a butterfly or whatever he wants to end up going.
Damage.
I mean, is there any? No, you're not going to go BKB this game. It's way too defensive on top of the
Dire's
Lincoln.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, you probably don't go BKB at least yet. I don't know what the best option he has really is. Can you even go like Daedalus after this? Just really hard commit on the damage part so you have a way of killing Pudge? Because I feel like that's what this game comes down to right now. For Liquid, the problem is they don't kill the heroes they need to kill. Aster's lineup's just way too tanky of a wall, and they're so confident they're going to go up without Aegis. Almost landing the hook there, already trying for a blind one into the tree line. This is a possible fight for Liquid because there's no Aegis this time on Sniper, but if Aster continue to have good formation and very good coverage with wards from the right, it's hard to find that attack angle that Liquid need, and Aster are going to constantly pressure this tower with Liquid Fire, with Shrapnel plus attacks from Sniper.
Yeah,
We'll
there's
try
Dip
though.
on in. They want to get the Omni
Huli.
immediately. Will they get him? He gets 4 steps to safety. There's the Guardian Angel just in time, and Mickey has to buy back after dying right off the bat, and Matu is dead as well. A terrible fight for Liquid as the BKBs have come out from Aster. Now they can just focus down Zai. Another death, another kill from Monet. Ultra kill overall. Ori wants another hook. He gets it. Mickey completely out of mana as Monet trying to finish the job, but able to zip away is Mickey again, but Boxy slowed to a crawl and a rampage. Monet just sitting in the back while his fat friend does all the work, and he gets 5 to his name.
It's just an insane strategy from Aster, but I really think Liquid's idea of jumping the Omni Knight there feels like the only possible way that they can win a fight. And Aster was just quick enough to react. I think it was a defensive dispose from XXS that threw Omni away. He gets Guardian Angel off, and the moment that happens, the fight is actually lost. I think it doesn't matter what Liquid do after that point. They just need to try and disengage and look for a better opportunity, but it's too late. They can't get out. Pudge gets on top of them with a rot. They lose a lot of heroes. Oh, try here.
Yeah, Mickey. Oh my god, the damage.
Don't underestimate Monet. He's just picked up a Silver Edge. He hits really damn hard now. They do get the melee Rex.
Oh, and there's a double damage.
And there is a Roshan a minute 20, which neither team knows, obviously.
This was the attempt to delete Siamese Cat, but he got off the Guardian Angel, and Liquid just lose the fight after that.
There's just way too much damage. Matu can't stand his ground. He's pretty tanky, right? He's got Lincolns, Ags, Scotty, and he turned into Pudge, I think. Didn't matter. It's way too much damage.
Got it.
This Aster lineup just proving to be formidable so far in the game. And if they... Oh.
Okay. Insania, he's dead.
Went scouting. He found them.
Yeah, we can see that Roche won't be up for another 45 seconds, so Aster just biding their time. Just want to play disciplined Dota, make sure they don't throw any leads.
Here's the tricky part for Liquid, though. If they give away this second Roche, I think the game is effectively lost. But the Roche will spawn before Insania is up. So if Aster are in position at the time it spawns, they could effectively force a 5v4. And even if it's just the Maiden, it's still it's still a pretty crucial thing for Liquid to not have there. It's a Force Staff that's out of play. It's an AoE slow that's out of play.
Top barracks are under attack.
Aster just needs to keep scouting it, and if they recognize it, they will be able to grab it for free.
And I believe a courier will be sitting in the Roche pit. Never mind.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work anymore. But Roche number 2
will try to push them back. I like this. This is another approach, maybe. Maybe you can defend Roche by pushing bottom. Force a rotation, but Aster just elect to use the glyph here to maintain Roche control, rather than TP back basically any hero that could have defended that tower.
Yeah, I think Matu's gonna... Maybe they just give up the Aegis and Shard and try to get a Rax themselves. Matu going to town on this tier 3, but it's going to force the TP out. From the Jakiro, actually cancels it.
But Matu will still be scared off, and that is the Roche. And now the problem for Liquid is, okay, so it's extremely hard to take this fight that you kind of have to take, so you're going to try to make this split push play, but the only lane you can split is the one that the enemy team has strong creeps in. So Aster just going to force down mid, and the bottom lane will defend itself no problem unless Matu knocks on the front door. He's the only hero that can do anything about it. He's not doing it. Too many heroes missing on Aster, he doesn't feel safe.
Monet with the Aegis, he takes the Shard as well, so has the concussive grenade. Even more slippery. It feels like the initiations from Mickey are pretty crucial. And this feels like a game you need to go Ags or something, but he's just going to be too far away. Actually, the Orchid is a good choice against the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
That is one way to try to counteract. But the problem is he has an Aeon Disc, he has a Force Staff. That's going to be
They actually can't prevent him from getting spells off anymore. It's just impossible with the lineup they have.
Need to get a Nullifier, which is very expensive.
Nobody wants to buy it. Yeah. They have no Dispel for him at all, and yeah, he just needs to not get chain stunned to death and silence. Just get a Force Staff ulti off and a Heavenly Grace, and he's basically done his job. So yeah, so that play is out of the window now too. Pichu identifying that that is the one play Liquid had based on the previous fight, and he's eliminating that one. So if Liquid can't force them back, they have no reposition. I mean, they have an offensive Force Staff on Insania. I'm starting to look for kind of desperate approaches because it feels like...
Force Staff into the splitter that is already on the ground.
I mean, otherwise this just happens, right?
Oh my god!
All right.
All right.
That was close.
That hook went right through the 2 polygons that exist for Morphling. Not including the cosmetics, of course. Very quick fingers from Matu, but again, they are on the back foot. BKB picked up by Zai.
Yep.
And this is... Like, they have good defense with Lesh. And the Tusk to some degree as well.
They just have absolutely zero map control, right? That's the problem. Bottom is pushing in, mid is pushing in, and top is now also starting to cross the halfway mark. And if Aster want, they can cut the next wave top. So Liquid are completely cornered. I'm just going to turn into Sniper, so take away some of that adu.
Oh. Monet takes a little take aim action to himself. A little right-click action from Matu, but I mean, they're delaying it, but again, the lead is still growing in Aster's favor. There's no technical rush for them.
And Aster's probably going to find this ward now, too, that is giving Liquid some really good information, right? Because now this camp is blocked, and they're like, wait, what? And there we go. So the last little bit of vision that Liquid had left given away by the camp itself. And you might wonder, like, why do you place a ward there? Isn't that going to be obvious to the enemy team when the camp doesn't spawn? Yes, but at the same time, it's really not an obvious spot to place it to begin with. So the sentries that you usually put in this area, which you see from Aster, the first sentry that they have did not find the ward, but ultimately they get it.
Yeah, looking for the jump onto Matu. They're all smoked on the low ground. Overwhelming blink, not quite up yet for Ori, but
yeah, this is kind
ready
of
to go.
telegraphed because nobody is like Zai is getting pretty far top.
Yeah, they
Nobody's
scanned
showing
it.
mid.
They just scanned it right now. Trying to delete the ward. They do so. The hook is in, but Ori not able to connect. Aster having to reset. Still with a minute 20 on the Aegis. Now they can just do the old sniper trick again. Get this tower kill. That's the biggest thing preventing them from getting onto the high ground anyway, on top of the splitter, of course. Lincoln's is popped now. Hook not connecting again from Ori, but there's the punch from Boxy into the hook from Matu. Already half HP on Monet, but again, he still has the Aegis, and Zai getting destroyed. My goodness, he melted. Freezing Field comes out just for a split second, but it matters not. A second death for Liquid. Hook on into Monet, but he gets a concussive grenade off again. And Liquid crumbling here in game number 2. Aster coming back with a vengeance, looking to get the mega creeps. Buyback comes out on Matu as one last potential stand here from Liquid. McKay not able to do too much. A nice ice path comes out into the dual breath. They find the Pudge finally, but how much is it going to cost them? Boxy ticking away ever so slowly. Matu, the last remaining member of Liquid after the buyback now. He turns into Pudge, or he's still Pudge in fact. Has the rot, just getting kited. Finally gets disposed back into the ice path, and he's actually staying alive thanks to the strength morph. Has to reset back into the fountain. Boxy has to be careful. This would be a dieback for him. He's going to tick away.
Matu had 6,000 health because he also had the strength from Pudge.
That is a very beefy boy as the mega creeps now come out. Aster, massive advantage here. GG still not called. It's only a matter of time here as the last tier 4 will fall. Matu and Zai trying to get something up. Really want to kill Monet now that the Aegis is gone, but the ice path is there. Hurricane Pike on top, and that is going to be the death of Liquid in game number 2. So Aster, they come back really nicely to push this to 3 games.
Yeah, that's got to be really good for their confidence. You know, in that first game, the first game was really close. There were plenty of opportunities in that game where Aster could have maybe started getting a big advantage. They didn't manage to claim it. Liquid ended it in a swift move. This game, Aster pretty much dominating more or less from start to finish. There were a couple of glimpses from Liquid, but for the most part, Aster just crushed them. I love their draft. I think the Omni Knight last pick was brilliant. They get their Pudge on Ori mid against the Storm of Mickey. He gets a solo kill. That's about as good as it could have gone for Aster, so we'll see. Liquid have had their backs against the wall many times already.
Yep.
They're definitely not scared of a game 3.
That is very, very true. This is going to be a hype game 3 for sure. Let's go to the panel and see what they have to say about this Pudge performance from Ori.
Thank you very much, Suns fan and Sinner. And indeed, a game 3. We wanted a game 3. We're getting a game 3. Very excited for it. But first, let's talk about how we got there, because this game definitely was a little bit of a change up from Aster in terms of game 1 versus game 2, because it was incredibly dominating here, Lacoste, for them. They were so difficult to kill.
It was. I really didn't feel the influence of this Storm Spirit pick. I think Aster put them into a trap where both supports, we're talking about Omni Knight, if he gets the Heavenly Grace off and Jakiro, a hero that has a lot of strength gain, they're very difficult to pick off, and they always had a really good read where Team Liquid is gonna strike. So Storm did try a couple of times at the early stages of the game to try to go in and get some pick-offs going, but it was not successful. And I want to talk about timings as well. Being able to get Aghanim Scepter on Pudge at the same timing as Leshra gets the Bloodstone, and then taking a fight, reducing Morphling's healing and also healing from the Bloodstone. All I'm going to say, if Pudge is played by Ori, you got nothing to worry.
Now, honestly, what...
Or you don't need it. Okay.
Sorry. Don't be sorry. No, I honestly think that was just an incredible performance by Ori. I mean, if your Pudge is solo killing the enemy Storm Spirit in the mid lane, that's more than you could ever ask for, right? His items came at right the amount of time. Siamese Cat on the Omni Knight knew just when to play with the Pudge and when to stop playing with his sniper, and it just felt like all of the pieces of Aster's draft aligned with each other so nicely. And I just love the fact that they took the Marcy away from Boxy. Right, they had previously beaten the Marcy twice in their upper bracket series versus Liquid, but they just lost to it. Instead of being shaken or maybe questioning their openers, they take the Marcy for themselves, which they then pivot into an offline Marcy with the last pick Omni Knight, which I think nobody was prepared for here. So I'm just really impressed by how Aster handled that game 2. And these game 2s at TI always turn into Pudge territory, sniper territory,
Sniper Pudge,
SF
baby.
territory. Yeah, you don't want to get eliminated without potentially just trying your best and going for your cheese picks. So honestly, 10 out of 10 draft there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love the Omni, like we've talked about, and Liquid even said it in the interview that Aster, they play together. You've said a bunch of times they play for team fights. What's a better hero to play this positioning death ball meta than Pudge, Sniper, Omni. Right? So you have the repositioning on your side. You want 4 heroes that are all protecting the Sniper. You have the Omni who can save people if the enemy team tries to jump in, like isolate one hero. It's like if you are good at the team play element of Dota, this is one of the best drafts that I've ever seen for that. And I would expect a potential Omni ban in the later phases of the draft in Game 3.
I wouldn't be surprised with that dominating performance indeed. We actually have an Omni Knight specialist as part of our talent crew. We're heading over to him right now. It is Sir Actionslack. Omni Knight specialist as part of our talent crew. We're heading over to him right now. It is Sir Actionslack.
You bet your booty I'm an Omni Knight specialist. We have 90 seconds to give away 2 Storm Spirit pillows after that Storm Spirit. I want to hear the best Storm Spirit impressions. If you can do a Storm Spirit impression, so raise your hand. Can you do one?
Zip.
All right. Can anyone do a Storm Spirit? Right.
Haha, I'm here.
Audience? Oh. Storm Spirit impression, sir. Zip. Jeez, what is wrong with you guys? All right, come on, somebody. Okay, hurry.
Storm Spirit.
That was pretty good. Take your pillow. Thank you very much. Anyone else? We got a few more seconds here, my boy. Excuse me, sir. This will be a tight fit. Excuse me. There we go. Perfect. Sir, please be good.
Storm Spirit.
All right, that's good enough for me. Can you beat him?
I don't know.
Okay, great. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, back to the panel. Woo!
I'm not going to remember.
Well, okay. Thank you, Slacks, for that. Yeah, it didn't have high standards set for the Storm Spirit sounds, but it worked out, and people got free stuff, so we're all happy for them. Who we're also happy for is Matumaman, because he made it very deep in a tournament that he, from the get-go, had already said, Effie, it's his last ever.
It's very sad, but I mean, for a last run, he's performing spectacularly. We saw it in that earlier video where he talked about how he felt like he messed up that first game versus Thunder. He went into the bathroom, he washed his face, and he said, "You've done this before, you've done this so many times," and he delivered for his team. And we've talked time and time again about how Boxy showed up, how Mike has showed up, but Matu has shown up in spades. I think he's playing some of the best Dota in his life right now, and his teammates are just so inspired to get this win for him before his last run.
And with that in mind, we actually do also have his teammates talking about Matu's retirement.
To put it frankly, it sucks. Because I think, like, right now I feel like I just want to keep playing with him.
He's a really good dude. He's very stoic, he's very Finnish, but he's also very good at Dota.
I mean, the reason why I'm retiring is I was already contemplating after last year's TI. Like, after losing this, I felt like sometimes it hits harder, sometimes it hits a little bit less. I mean, in the moment, you always go with emotions that what you could have done better. Your mind just keeps like barraging you with these feelings and like what you should have done. Did you throw the game for your team? And it's truly miserable feeling. Feel like this was your worth, kind of like what you put into this year. This moment was the worth, and you weren't good enough. This year, obviously, I mean, I was crying after that lower bracket final against Team Spirit. I mean, it's heartbreaking to lose that way.
Will he get another rampage at TI-10? Absolutely, Yatoro! And they're going to call GG. The underdog story is still alive. Team Spirit move on to the grand final.
This just doesn't satisfy me equally anymore. Like, I just feel tired. I'm doing it out of sense of it's my job and duty to become better, or like stay at least like as good as I was before, or like maintaining the form. I feel like whatever you choose to devote all your life for, you better do it like fully hearted. Like, there's no way I'm gonna half-ass this thing. Like, it's gonna eat me alive. That's how I feel.
I think this year, especially on the team that we're on now, he's kind of embraced more of a leadership type of thing. So he's kind of got that. Yeah, he's our stoic, bearded Finnish leader.
For me, I think this TI maybe not that sad, because I get to relax after this and enjoy my retirement days. So for me, it's really a win-win, you know.
It sucks. There's no real other way to put it.
The Dota scene, I think, is gonna miss him once he's gone.
I don't think it's like a very reluctant leave, but hopefully he'll do what Jerax did and come back in a few years, and we'll be waiting with open arms.
They're with you. Wow.
Not dead.
Sure about that, guys.
I just saw him.
Don't worry, he's very much alive. And he has had a fantastic career. Still having it, by the way. He's not out just yet. There's, of course, one more game, and he could potentially go all the way with that as well. But we wanted to make sure that we highlighted because this is a TI winner, one of the two still remaining in the tournament. And Lacoste, it is definitely a guy to be celebrated.
Oh, most definitely. I like how the rest of the team also does celebrate Matu in a way, you know, even after a couple of years, if he wants to come
Open
back,
arms,
they're going to be waiting for him. Definitely a good dude, you know, gives you that energy. And I like the way he talked about, you know, giving his 100%. You can feel it in the way that he plays, also taking the leadership role a little bit. But he gave everything. This is what you need to do when you're playing professional Dota, like at this level. And I think we can, you know, see Matu in the next 3 months sitting at the boat, just enjoying himself.
Oh, you know he will.
That makes sense considering he was part of the 4 anchors plus the C captain.
I believe he was the C captain.
And if he wasn't if he was an anchor, he has definitely qualified as officially a C captain.
He's definitely not an anchor of this.
Not an anchor. C captain in the eyes of millions of people out there in the world.
For sure. We all know retirement in Dota 2
doesn't mean
it's hard. Apparently people can't.
It's too good.
The game just keeps pulling you back in.
I think that if you're competing at this level, you have this strong drive to just always be good, to be the best, to play for that glory and not necessarily for financial reasons. And this sense of competition inside of these players is so strong that it's hard for them to stay away. But he did mention in the video that at this point he's just tired. It feels like a chore to him right now, and when you reach that level of burnout, you do owe it to yourself to just see what your next step in life is. So I fully support him in all of his endeavors, and I mean, he's just one of the greatest players to touch Dota. His results have been excellent. He's been on some of the most emotional stories, from winning TI with a team to getting kicked, then getting 3rd place, to now going through the last chance qualifiers when people counted them out. I mean, this guy is just really part of so many awesome stories.
Yeah, he also was in the live studio that got the 1 HP Pango. I think that moment will be immortalized in Dota 2 history for sure. Just like I think all TI winners are immortalized, and all these guys want to be TI winners. Yes, Matu and Poppy already still in and are already immortalized, but they want to do it again. And all these guys going back to their booths, they just want to make sure to win just one game of Dota 2 to make it to the final day, because that is all that is standing between them and a lower bracket finals. One game, Jenkins.
That's absolutely right, Shiver. He is from Finland, but of course Matamoment does not want to be finished after this game. He wants to continue playing.
Yes.
High five, Lacoste.
Yeah, very good.
Good one, Jackie.
How long were you sitting on that?
At least 5 minutes.
Well, thank you for getting that out just in time. Now, we've talked a lot about the teams, and earlier on we heard Team Liquid talk about Aster, and now we're going to hear Aster talk about Team Liquid.
Liquid 其实在这么些年一直是一支很强的队伍。
我觉得他们因为一直在进步吧，因为他们首先从突围上打上来的，然后一直在就跟进自己的打法，然后再努力的改进自己的错误。
我觉得他们的那个教练挺能领神的，因为我昨天在网上看见了他们的那个语音聊天，他们在赛前，然后他们会一起团结鼓励一下，就是说一些大家能团结的话，这样。
我觉得他们主要是马土巴曼为这个队一直在改，就是他能适应各种的打法，就是马土巴曼就是为这个队付出很多。
虽然之前我们2比0了他们，但是他们能重新杀回来，但是然后也是不容小觑的吧，所以我们依然还是会很重视他们。
And they have been taking them very seriously, which is why we're here in this 3rd and final game of this elimination series. Who will take that spot tomorrow? We'll have to wait to find out. But I want to hear from my panel what's going to be the key element in this 3rd game according to them, Lacoste.
According to them, I mean, Team Liquid, they did go like full 5 heroes, blue heroes, last pick, water, literally, and it didn't work out for them. And also one thing to know is if we want to like check the pattern that has been happening during the main event is all Western European teams are eliminated by other Western European teams. So, you know, Team Liquid does have an upper hand here. And then we have 3 European teams left in top 3 that can eliminate each other.
But to that, I would counter being the sole Chinese team left in the top 4, and after having eliminated PSG LGD, who are the fan favorites in China, Aster are really feeling that pressure of needing to perform here, because not only do you want to win for yourselves, now you feel like you're going to win for an entire region. You're carrying the hopes. So they definitely are equally as motivated in Liquid. But I just love seeing how much these two teams respect each other. I mean, the way that they talk about each other, the way that they just value each player individually and have obviously put in a lot of time preparing for each other is going to make for a great series of Dota. I mean, I think this last game is going to be a banger.
It's good for Aster that they didn't... feeling the weight of an entire region, especially such a proud region, could be crushing, especially after game 1. So yeah, this is a scary team considering they feel that weight, and instead of it crushing them, it empowers them. And maybe that's our boy Lanham that's, you know, partly to blame for that success.
For Aster, I feel like personally they perform the best when XXS is on an initiator type of hero. We saw in that game 1 he was playing the Underlord, who obviously provided a lot for the draft and the team in terms of map movements. But when it comes to the way that they've traditionally taken these team fights on the back of his Mars, on the back of his other awesome initiations, if they lack that, it does feel like overall they are playing a little bit worse. So what I want to see for this game 3 coming out of Aster is just putting XXS on that initiation hero and just depending on him to win these team fights.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about Marcy in that case, because we have seen Marcy win both games and in very successful fashion. Obviously, Boxy was the star of the show for game 1. XXS on the offlane, Marcy Lacoste are doing the same thing.
Yeah, the hero, I mean, this is the reason why this hero is the most popular hero of this international, just being able to close the gap. Strong laner scales really well into the mid-late game. We saw Boxy in game 1 that he can also scale from position 4. Like, people did figure out Marcy going for BKB instead of the previous builds that we had, like Blink, Ether Lens, type of a build. And you did say Marcy win both games, but also Lashrak lost both games. And that's a big question mark for me for the game 3. Whether teams are going to prioritize this hero in the first phase, I feel like it's gonna be a no.
I think there's still merit to this hero. They just have to kind of set up for it a little better, right? Because, for example, if that Pudge from game 2 had been a Lashrak potentially playing with an Omni Knight, it could have looked better for him. But I do agree with Lacoste that it does seem solved at this point. But for Liquid, what I do want to see is Boxy on another roaming 4 just demolishing the game. Like, he has been the bread and butter early game winner for Liquid. He's the one who goes from lane to lane. He just has so much impact early on. So absolutely do not put this man on some backline support. Do not do it. Just give him what he's best at.
Yeah, it's something that I was a little bit worried about seeing Baboka on a Jakiro, Jenkins, but he crushed that one too.
Yeah, he did very well in that game. I mean, especially after the game 1 performance, it's like, no, like, give him a playmaker. Like, this guy's clearly on fire right now. But in game 2, I guess he was actually literally on fire, given the Jakiro.
Only one half.
Yeah, only on, yeah, 50-50. But no, he played really well. I mean, the thing is with Jakiro is, like, for good Jakiros, it kind of is an initiation to a degree, because, like, if you're coming out of a smoke, for example, you can hit with, like, a clutch ice path. Like, at least there still is, like, clutch potential with Jakiro because of the ice path ability.
Other abilities are not as flashy. Like, you can't really do much, but he did some work. Yeah. He really put in some really good work.
It's time to find out what's going to happen. Game 3, Aster Liquid. Let's go.
Team Liquid versus Team Aster. Game 3.
Game number 3. Loser goes home, winner stays alive. A lot of storylines, of course. Last Chinese team, Matu. Talked a lot about him. Everybody's rooting him on, of course. But last game, what kind of adjustments do you guys expect to see?
Marcy, bro. Marcy's back.
Neither team will get Marcy.
Yeah, get that hero out. Won both games when it got picked, and also once again, Liquid second pick, Aster first pick. I think it makes total sense.
I think these teams almost always first faced Primal Beast when it was in the pool.
That's
and
also
it was ignored last game.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Primal Beast got ignored last time, and Aster goes for Maiden, snatching from Liquid.
Yeah, so if you're new to Dota and you haven't watched so much, generally in best of threes, a hero that loses the first 2 games is then first pick in the 3rd game. That's very normal. Happens all the time because there's nothing better than seeing a hero that got crushed twice, winning the 3rd game to show that you're the best.
It's not her fault.
Give me Nick Slash right now.
Nick Slash?
Let's go.
I wonder also, I mean, what's in the heads of Liquid right now probably is a Sniper 8. Like, Aster seems so confident with that hero, they just literally picked him at 8 last time. And Liquid right now is probably like, not in the easiest spot about this. You're probably already making up your minds for it. But Nuke Slash might be decent no matter what. Nux is pretty good against a Sniper, you can carry place a Shrapnel if it would come out.
So just to clarify, when you say Sniper 8, you mean the 8th overall choice of the draft. That means
Yes,
both
yes.
teams have done 2 bans.
Yeah.
That means it's the 4th pick.
Yeah, sorry. This is like
pro player lingo.
Yeah, it's pro player lingo.
I'm
So
sorry, yeah.
it's a good way of referring to, like, once you're in the lingo, of referring to the order in which heroes are picked. But if you're not familiar with the lingo, you're like, Sniper 8? I thought the highest roll was 5. But
Okay, so they do the Tusk Lina over the Lash track.
So they're preparing for Lash.
Preparing for Lash, yeah. It's good against the Lash if they would pick it. I think Aster could go for the Sniper once again, though, if they wanted it. I mean, they picked the Sniper against the Lina in the first series, the first game, sorry.
Yep.
So they could just opt for it again.
5 seconds.
It's also Nixon pool, Lash pool.
Is Lina good against Primal Beast net? That's the question.
I think it's definitely like decent for sure. Like, you should do pretty good.
has Ori played Primal much this tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't recall, none of the games we had with Aster he has been playing Primal, but...
Okay. And the Sniper is a ban out. They're like, okay, take the Beast, ban the Sniper.
So how likely is this Primal mid?
No, they play it offlane, but...
I think pretty likely. It's still a flex in the end, but like Linas usually do fine, but it's a bit like two-sided because like the Probies can also get on top of the Lina. So with like one rotation, for example, the Lina always has to be scared of like potentially dying. So Ori is probably fine with playing it, and it's in the end like they picked it into the Lina. Also, Oracle Lifestealer ban. I don't quite get the Oracle ban, what that is for. Did they ban it last game? I don't recall. Has a bit of a special ban. Lifestealer makes sense. Matu loves the hero, good against Primal Beast. Liquid sticking to the Mars ban as always. They did the last get that pick the last two times. Probably leading into Pango ban as well.
I guess something to say about the Oracle ban is, first of all, it's one of Insania's absolute best heroes. Even when the hero isn't popular in the meta, he will still pick it. It blocks a ton of Primal Beast's damage, right?
True,
I guess. It blocks the entire trample, it blocks the pulverize, it gives you a hard save against the primal. I guess it's one of the few things in the game that can even stop a pulverize, right?
That's true. Yeah, I guess the Fate's Edict is really good.
And you also protect yourself from a potential like Huskar Oracle second phase where they pick the Oracle first and now you kind of have to, you know, cover that base and then they don't even need to go there. So I do think there's value in it, but it is definitely not a common choice here that Aster are going with. Did they? I feel like they banned it last game.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not sure as well. They might have banned it. In the end, it's one of Insania's best heroes, or maybe his best hero after all. Also, we see the Pudge being banned out. This time Aster bans it, even though they did really well with that hero last game. But already they got the Primal Beast, which they might put on mid, so it's a bit weird to pick the Pudge with that.
Is this telling you that they want Lesh? That they banned the Pudge? Is that setting up for that?
Maybe they just think that Liquid also loves it. Like, they run a lot of this Lina Pudge combo, where like the Pudge is like a semi-core and the Lina out of mid carries the game eventually, and playing them out to Pudge. Interesting to note here that this is the first game that Pango is available in the second stage.
Yep.
As in, like, Liquid did not ban it, they banned the Omni instead, which looked pretty damn good too. So the Pango is definitely in both teams' minds right now. Liquid might pick it up right now as both Mickey and Zai play it. 4.9.
Okay.
A hero that was first picked many games early on in the tournament.
And disappeared completely almost in the last few days.
Well, now Pango is pretty good.
Yeah, so how much importance would you put on Aster having a way of breaking Tombstone? Is that something they specifically need to pick for in this game, or can you kind of play around it? Primal Beast is obviously very mobile.
First of all, they need a hero that can even lane against Undying.
Yeah,
That's highest priority, I would say.
Yeah, Undying like has like these two annoying aspects, right? It's very dominant laning stage, but also then later the Tombstone. So you can kind of think about the hero in two ways. I mean, in terms of hitting Tombstone, the Lina is already on Liquid, which is a normal answer to hitting Tombstone. The Sniper is also banned, so they could also just go for the approach that if the Tombstone is put on, they just run away from it, basically.
Something that Liquid have banned in the series as well was the Naga Siren, which teams have used in the past. You just Song of the Siren, you break the tomb. Is that... I guess Naga doesn't look appealing enough here that you can pick it with these two picks before Liquid get a counter pick into the second ban phase.
It's interesting. It also depends who on Aster will play the Naga in the end. Some people play it on +3 and 1 as well. Oh, they go...
All right.
Nice call. Does XXS play the Naga?
Is it +4 Naga, maybe?
I guess it's flex for now, right?
+4 Naga is very possible.
Attack speed aura for the tomb as well. Probably not the primary reason they're getting it, but what's the Beastmaster logic in this spot?
Beastmaster, good hero. Can pick.
All right.
Does this mean anything for Primal Beast's position? Are you expecting a 4, or can he still go?
I'm expecting Primal Beast mid and +4 or carry Naga.
Yeah, I think so too. Interesting though, I think that Undying is a pretty strong lane against Beastmaster, right? So
yeah, but really bad against Naga.
Yeah. I mean, do you lane Naga Beast into Undying?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, that definitely works.
That's interesting. And the Pangolier. There we go.
Whoa. They already have a hard lockdown for the role here. They have the Beastmaster. I guess if it's a carry Naga, you could see the Ags come out as well, right? Is that a concern for Liquid?
You can always shard the IX net on Pango.
Okay.
So you can shard, the net gets spells, right? And then you keep rolling. Yeah, it's a nice mechanic you can always abuse. I think if the Naga is +1, maybe she goes Axe, but she might just go for the other core items instead.
It's a pretty solid lane for a carry Naga. Tusk Pango doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of games, it's not the most free illusion game hero, I guess, because of the Pangolier. Pangolier is one of the best illusion gear heroes, but it's playable, I guess.
Monet loves Drow.
Drow still in pool?
Yep.
Yeah, Drow still in pool, actually. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Might get.
Drow looks pretty interesting, I agree.
I think Monet likes Morph. Also very good.
He played an insane morph at TI7. I remember that when LFY looked like the team that was going to win the whole tournament at one point. Monet's morph was scary.
So Liquid thinks it's a carry Naga as they ban on Snapfire. So...
I mean, whether they think it or not, you kind of have to pick your poison, right? They probably identify the options that Aster have, and they just probably choose the path that they think is the least scary, which is a support that kills Tombstone on its own. Would you agree with that?
It's interesting. I think this is a better offlane Lash game than last game. But this game, they went for Pango instead.
I mean, Pango was always banned as well.
Yeah, they banned it themselves last series.
Liquid's turn to ban.
Aster bans a Bloodseeker. This is also interesting. As like, you know, Aster is the team who plays against Pangolier, so they don't like it.
Is that
it's actually so hard to tell.
This Bloodseeker ban, is that just, okay, well, what does Matsu play well? It's Lone and Bloodseeker that we're most scared of? Or is this setting them up for their next pick? They obviously don't have the ultimate last pick, so they're going to have to show something key here.
I think it is good against Drow.
Okay. The Seeker?
Yeah.
It's definitely already good against Primal Beast, I guess. Like, of course, Rapture counters like the hero who has to move to deal damage.
What if they would have picked it themselves against Pango?
That's what I was thinking. Like, they could have picked it themselves on Aster. For the Rupture and Wolf, like, against Lina it's decent, against Pangolier it's very good. But they opt to not do so. They would have had a very melee-oriented lineup, so maybe that's why I don't like it so much.
So you're still Team Drow here?
It's not bad, yeah. It looks. The question is, what would Liquid pick if they would draw an Aster?
The Aster picks Drow every game they can, I feel like. Either that or carry Naga.
What was Forza cool as well? I like the Drow a lot. Drow against Lina is also legit, and there we go.
Nice call.
Yeah.
Is it Kumblum Lycan?
Oh, that would be...
Lycan against...
That would be very interesting.
Drow. Does he play it? Does he like it?
I mean, I don't know if he likes it.
Oh, we've already established that Matsu doesn't play Morph for some reason, so I guess we can also say he doesn't play Lycan, which is like one of his best heroes.
Main is a bit annoying, maybe, but I mean, of course, besides that, it's pretty decent.
For now, you have Beastmaster problems, first of all, so
yeah,
you need to deal with that lane first.
you can't pull off Phantom Lancer, right? It's also one of the classic counters to Drow. It's too hard against Primal Beast, I would
feel
imagine.
like they will even lose lane against Naga Beast.
Yeah, it's too rough.
This Naga Beast second stage seeming to work out. It's crazy. But I'm curious also that lane will go nonetheless. But yeah, PL also a bit annoying against to play against Maiden and the Beast. But that's still a pool even.
Lifestealer, which kind of sucks, right? It's banned actually. Never mind. They can't
It's a random Ursa, but it's also not good.
Oh.
Matu go. Maybe it's a Lycan in the end.
I guess Lycan or PL are our best ideas so
I like
far.
Lycan.
Lycan is the closest thing to Lone Druid that you're going to get, right?
I feel like we're missing out on
True.
I feel like we're missing out on something. Knights.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh no.
All right. That is safe lane carry NS.
I feel like this Naga will destroy this lane so hard.
Wow.
Okay, this is very special.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have to choose a winner now after seeing that.
I think Toby is over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I'm on
Toby's
board with
called
Aster,
here.
guys.
I mean, I feel like the Lina is like decently strong this game. She has to play against Raw and Drow though. It's not easy. I mean, this Night Stalker last pick I'm a bit curious about. I don't think it's the freest Night Stalker game. I feel like Beastmaster should have a good lane against it.
Do you feel like Night Stalker is a solution against Drow in general? Like, he can obviously get on top of her, but the supporting cast around it with Song of the Siren, with Roar.
Yeah, sort of. I guess like this draft is really based around Mickey and Lina. Like this Lina is like the turret that is going to stand at the front and 4 heroes go in for him. So if Mickey is like having a good start, he can carry this game.
Okay, so with that, I believe Sir Action Slacks is with Blitz. Let's see what they have to say about this game number 3 draft.
Hello everybody. I am here with Blitz Dota yet again of Team Liquid. Sir, I know you guys usually run down the clock for the memes, but that one looked like you were really discussing till the end. Do you feel like this is one of the harder drafts that you guys have had to do this event?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Aster is such a sick team. We were really scratching our heads, and we told Matu, if it's the last game, what do you want to play? What do you want to go out on? What do you want to have fun on? And so we let him choose.
All right, and there we go. The Night Stalker, huh? Do you believe in his choice? Do you think he's got it? Does he feel it? He got the energy from the booth?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, he's a pretty bad Night Stalker, but, you know, it's his choice.
All right, my friend. Well, I gave Lanham the choice last time, so I'm going to let you have one more speech out there to everybody watching. You're a crowd favorite here, so any words out there to the audience?
Yeah, you know, if this is our last game and this is Last Day's last game, I know he really appreciated all the support. It truly means a lot to me just to be up here. We're blessed every single day. Thank you to the fans that are watching. You really make this all possible. Every year I realize that more and more. So thank you everybody who came here to see Lasse play and the rest of our team. This one's for you.
All right, we'll throw it right over to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Slacks and Blitz. And like you said, game 3 underway. And I believe the first 10-minute discussion here by both of us will be about Matu Night Stalker and what we think. I mean, the idea of a hero jumping on top of Drow makes sense. I would assume an Aghanim Scepter might be something that he'll prioritize, along with obviously the BKB and a Blink Dagger. Am I missing anything else here? You can eat the boar when you get the shard. Actually, you can eat whatever Helm of the Dawn, right? Does that work?
Yeah, you can
during
eat
nighttime.
You can eat the Helm of the Overlord even.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only thing in the game that counters that, which I think was a big part of what inspired.
Is that only during nighttime, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The battle begins.
I believe so.
So it's all about getting.
Now you're making me question myself.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time. Sorry about that. Boxy's going to ice shard his way onto the low ground, but he's going to be met by Boboka. Gonna have some nice blocks.
Yeah, it only targets Ancients at night, so that's the only time he can kill the Overlorded Ancient creep.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, this is a completely out of left field pick. Nobody expected it. You heard Entity; they were not expecting it at all. Stormstormer and Toby, obviously, and I'd be willing to bet that Aster had no clue this was coming either. So, you know, that's sometimes surprise picks like this show up amazingly, and sometimes they fall flat. Either way, it's a really creative response here for Liquid, and it's a pretty polarizing carry. I'll say that much. Night Stalker has his games, but he also has games where he falls completely flat.
You are the expert on this hero too.
I used to play it mid. It was a different time. You don't go that build anymore. Well, to be fair, nobody went that build.
What was the build?
I went Earn Ewells.
Oh my god.
It was different. Yeah, it sounds horrible now, doesn't it?
Just awful.
It worked back then.
Your career makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
We are into
Everyone
the game,
was
of course.
awful.
Siamese Cat getting pushed out here by Zai, playing the Pangolier.
Yeah, talk to me about the Drow Ranger, because you guys all predicted it. Why is it so good this game?
So first of all, you have the Beastmaster aura, which is nice for ranged right-click carries. Secondly, Liquid don't have the best backline jump, right? And it's also just a favorite of Aster's in this tournament. You saw them play Sniper 2 games in a row. They like playing Monet on this heavy long-range artillery, so it just fits the bill. The only catch that Liquid had until they picked the Night Stalker that could maybe get on top of her is a Tusk or a Pango, which both kind of get countered by Force Staff. So you naturally want to buy Pike on this hero anyway.